Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Sorry I'm late. I got tied up in traffic. Now, you'd think in a lockdown there wouldn't be that much traffic, but man, oh man. Tons of traffic out there today. Sorry we got a little bit of a late start, but I am here now. Let's get on with the show. I guess I should have put it at my usual 4:30 time, not 4 o'clock. My mistake. I hope people haven't been waiting too long. I'm just trying to get myself going here. Oh, what a day. Welcome to the show. Another Saturday. And let's get on with things. Let's put my camera. Hello, people. I am here. I'm here. And just bring the chat up on my screen here so I can see what's going on. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, it looks like I've got volume. Okay. Hello, James Winston Lennon. Hello, Star Power. Hello, Mark Anthony K. Hello, George Nanos. My co-host, Mark Anthony. Are you in the back studio or no, you're not? I guess I should post a link. That would help, wouldn't it? You think I would remember after freaking 200 streams to post the link in the chat. I will never, ever learn. And there we go. There we go. There's the link. I'll bring Mark Anthony K up first for a little while, then I'll invite other guests, and we'll go from there. Stuck in traffic. But we're live now, and we'll see what happens today. I know I did have word from Neum, the prog nerd, was supposed to be on today. She messaged me earlier today that she had some family things to do, and she wasn't sure if she could make it or not. But I'm not betting that she will. Same with Naz Nomad. He had some family things to do. I'm not sure if he's going to make it. I think it's doubtful that neither of them will be able to make it. They said they would try if they could, but it's looking doubtful. So I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming today. If most of the guests I asked aren't able to come on. But here's Mark Anthony K, my co-host, who's going to bail me out of this mess. And let's put him on. Add to stream.
I am live.
We're live.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you, my friend.
Good. So how was the trip over to Rick's?
Well, I was actually filming a vlog for this week's video, which involved going to Walmart, Sunrise, and Rick's. That was the intention. And the results of such you guys will see in my video this week. I don't want to give spoilers away because then nobody will watch the video. I'm having enough trouble getting people to watch my videos as it is. So I can't give any spoilers away. But Rick's was my most successful stop off, which wasn't surprising.
Yeah.
Sunrise was pretty much a disaster.
I can imagine.
Walmart was a complete washout. And that's all I'm going to say about the show now. You guys can see my interesting shopping in a pandemic vlog. I drove to like 6 stores today and filmed it. I
don't know. For me, I don't. Even when the restrictions got lessened, I mean, I went maybe twice to Rick's. Twice. I mean, I still do the majority of my stuff on Discogs because I just find that I can find more of the stuff I want on there, and I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, it's just I went to support Rick, and see what he had new, and I hadn't been there for like a month, so.
Yeah, well, I got like 3 records waiting there. I got like a couple of Triumph albums I got off of him there waiting, so I'll probably have to scoot by there and do the curb pickup.
I ended up getting like 5 things from there.
What'd you get?
Well, I'm not going to show them all because that's part of my video. You're going to have to just wait till you see my video. I'll show one only, just one only. One only that I got at Rick's today. I got a couple things at Sunrise, and I got like 5 at Rick's. And the one I got at Rick's, I never even knew it existed. I didn't know this one existed. Maybe I missed the boat on it or something. Rick said it was only pressed once, very briefly. It was pressed one time, very briefly, and hasn't been repressed. And it was...
Oh, yeah.
Rush Moving Pictures Live.
Yeah, that was out and about for a while, yeah.
In 2011. Apparently it only was pressed the one time and it hasn't been repressed or nothing. And I never even heard of this album.
Yeah,
so
it's a live boot. Like it's it's like a FM broadcast or something like that.
I don't know what it is. It's yeah. You know, it's by I don't know, Roadrunner Records or something. It wasn't much. It's on Anthem. I mean, it is on Anthem. So it is part of the official Rush catalog.
If it is what I think it is. Excuse me, I got a frog in the throat.
And it was a used one, and it was a really reasonable price. It was only $20. So
yeah, I got a couple of those kind of ones.
You know, it's like mint. It's mint.
Yeah. Well,
pretty much. Well, maybe VG Plus. I see a scuff there. I see a scuff there, hairline scuff, but I'd say it's VG Plus.
Yeah, I don't know, George. It might be. I don't know if it's live in Cleveland. They were releasing a lot of these kind of live FM broadcasts that they had.
Let me see if I can get the information where this was recorded. Recorded at Quicken Loans Arena, April 15th, 2011, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, so it's live. Yeah, it's their live performance of the album.
Yeah, it's a live performance of the album. Yeah, that's all it is. It's in exact running order, everything. Side A, side B. So yeah, I picked that up today. I just saw it there. Never even heard of it. I was like, you know, well, why not?
Yeah. They also had the what's it called? The performance at Electric Lady from like '74 when Neil first joined. There's a vinyl of that out there. There's a few other ones I got. There's a one that's on orange vinyl of that I got as well. So they're pretty good. I mean, especially if they're the FM broadcasts, then they're good. But if they're audience recordings pressed to vinyl, they're terrible.
Yeah, no, this is an Anthem. This is an Anthem recording. It's an official, so it's going to be quality.
Yeah, it'll be good.
You know, you can tell it's 180 grand and all that jazz.
Yeah, it'll be good as long as they have like the label backing it. Then it should be a pretty decent.
Yeah. It's definitely an official label release.
Yeah. It looks good. Yeah, good pickup. Good pickup.
Yeah. I just saw that. I said that was in his. That was at Rick's in his. You know where he has new vinyl trade-ins.
Mm-hmm.
That section.
Yeah, that was swamped last time with lots of jazz stuff. The last time.
It was. The bin's only about 2/3 full now, so it's obviously been picked over.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that and a few more things, which you guys can see in my video this week.
Yeah.
That's cool. Give away spoilers.
Yeah. So did you get anything? Any recent Amazon things? Or
let me see what I got. I'll show you what a Discog thing I got. Just trying to fix this mess here. Come on, computer.
No, you can't go wrong for $20, George. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, $20. Well, 25. It was 25, and he knocked a couple bucks off for me. So,
AGK, was your shopping all curbside pickup?
No, this was in-store pickup. Even though we're in lockdown, he has a maximum of 6 people allowed in this store at any time, including himself. So I guess 5 people plus himself. When I was in there, there were 3 other people, and they left, and I think another guy came in. When I went to Sunrise, it was a freaking ghost town. I think there was like 1 other person in the store.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting because I thought with this whole big lockdown that it would have been
disaster.
Walmart. I thought it would have been more closed up. I thought it would have had to go back to curbside with the.
That's what I thought. That's why I just sort of went out today. Said I need something I wasn't sure what I wanted to do this week. I mean, I do have 2 vinyl videos planned for the near future, but I wasn't ready to film them yet. One is going to be my favorite new releases of 2021 so far, January to the end of March. And then my favorite reissues, that will be a separate video, will be my favorite reissues I picked up that were released between January for the first quarter.
Yeah.
So those, but I'm not really quite ready to film those yet. So I was like, what am I going to do this week? And I didn't do a video this past week because I had my daughter here and a lot of family stuff. So I never did get my video made this week. So I decided I just needed to get out today. I've been stuck inside so long. I just needed to go for a drive. I just needed to, had depression and I was just feeling anxious. And so I said, screw it. I'm going for a drive today.
Yeah.
And
I do that all the time.
When I got in the car, then that's when the idea came. You know what? I'm just going to cruise by Walmart. I'm going to cruise by all these places and just film it.
Yeah.
And do a video log.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. I got all these little snippets I got to piece together now and make a vlog for this week. And so I think it'll be interesting. I hope so. I hope so. I hope somebody watches it, please. But as for, I haven't really been getting much lately. I mean, I had some pre-orders on Amazon. But there hasn't been a whole lot I've been wanting to buy. Money's tight, anyhow. I don't know what the last things I've showed are. Like I said, I'll be showing them in the video. The last thing I got was some Discog stuff. The only thing I got it probably in the last couple of weeks was this one here, which I showed somewhere. I think I opened the package, I think, on Rachel's stream. And I ordered this from Discogs a couple of weeks ago on Discogs from a guy in Montreal. And it's the Diodes.
Never heard of them.
Diodes were a Canadian punk band, late 70s. They made 3 studio albums. They're punk new wave, somewhere in between the two. They made 3 studio albums. And then a couple of years ago. They made a box
set from 3 albums?
Yeah, well, what it is, it's 3 albums. Plus a couple of years, about 3 years ago, they released a Rarities album as well.
Okay.
So it's 4 studio albums. So 4 albums. So this has got the 4 albums, all on different colors of vinyl. It's got CD as well with some rarities, another CD that's got more rarities on it, plus some artwork and stickers and like a book and, the usual box set sort of merch. So it's all 4 albums by the Diodes. They had some big hits. They did a version of Red Rubber Ball that was very, very popular. Tired of Waking Up Tired, what is a classic that is very popular from one of their albums. That Was the Way It Was a big hit. City of the Dead was a big hit. So, but as this book says, the cover says, originally formed in 1976, the Diodes were the first Canadian punk band to be signed by a major label and released 3 amazing punk rock albums between 1977 and 1980, which are out of print.
Yeah.
So they were the first Canadian punk band to ever be signed to a major label.
That's something that's like totally not in my wheelhouse at all. Like I was never a punk thing. Yeah. Punk was not my thing. Teenage Head and all those bands. Teenage Head and all those guys, I never got into that. It was just not, in my circle of friends, like in my band mates and all that stuff, we always looked down at punk as like, people who couldn't play music very well because they were like 3-chord people. So we were always into like Rush and all these other bands that could like technically be better. So we never were into punk music at all. But now later as I've gotten older, I've started getting into a bit more like the Sex Pistols and the Clash. Yeah,
this is very. The thing I like about the Diodes is Teenage Head. You've probably heard Teenage before. Very Canadian punk. They were more like Ramonesy, the Teenage Head. Diodes were very UK sounding punk.
Oh, cool.
Like very, very UK sounding punk. If I were to say anything, it's like Diodes sound like the Sex Pistols meet the Kinks.
Oh, okay.
That's about the sound. There's some Kinks sounding. They sound very Kinksic. I think the first time I ever heard the Red Rubber Ball, which is on here, I thought it was the Kinks playing it, and it was this group, the Diodes. I remember way back. So when I was going to university, all my university friends, they were into the punk. So we were totally in the punk scene at that time. We'd go down to Larry's Hideaway in downtown Toronto, which was where all the punk bands played. That was Teenage Head's home turf. Diodes played there.
I'm guessing that if they got signed to a major label, they must have had a good sense of like something melodic to them that the major label would have picked up on.
Their first album, they got signed right off the bat to a major label with their first album. And they did very well for a brief period of time. So I picked this up, and these things are average. average like around 150 Canadian now. But I found this on the internet on Discogs for 75 from a guy in Montreal, and it's still sealed. So I scooped it up with postage. It was like $90. So I think that's a good deal for four albums plus CDs and everything. You get your money's worth there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's a good deal, especially since it's sealed, right?
Yeah, and like I said, all the other ones I've seen for sale on Discogs, they're all upwards of around 150 Canadian. So bargain. And some of those were even, I think, open too. They weren't even sealed.
Yeah, I'm in waiting mode here. I got some stuff coming from a Kiss collector in Germany. I bought a couple of Kiss albums, different pressings, like a pressing from France, pressing from Sweden. I got and stuff like that. That's coming, and I got still waiting for my Kiss Killers because it was coming from Germany. I don't know what's taking it so long to get here. People have been complaining on many Kiss forums about that. So yeah, it's interesting. What's this guy doing here?
Hey, Jorgen.
You mentioned Sweden?
Oh boy, here we go. Jazz guy on.
Nice to see you too, Mark Anthony.
I'm just bugging you, Jorgen. You know that. Come on.
Jorgen's a good guy.
I know. I'm just bugging him. He knows that. He's my Abba buddy, right?
Yeah. What? Mark Abba?
Well, I'm not
Yeah,
a huge Abba fan, but I can. They've done some great stuff, but I'm not a huge fan though. I'm more a fan of.
I'm not huge either. I got Abba Gold. That's about it. But I mean, I grew up in my house.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Black cover, Abba Gold
Yeah.
on vinyl. I got it on gold vinyl.
There you go. Yeah, because my parents grew up with it. I grew up with it in the house. My parents listened to it all the time. We have all the original pressings here because my parents bought them as they came out right here in Canada. So they were huge on it. So I'm familiar with all the hits and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say I'm a big fan. But I'll tell you one thing. Those two guys, Bjorn and the other guy, they were. Benny, they're very good producers, like music producers. Their records sound very good. They're fantastically recorded and produced. So I got to at least give them that,
But I actually am a more fan of the members when they were solo before ABBA.
Oh, really?
Because the blonde girl Agneta was very young, but she was an extremely great producer of soft little cute Schlager thing, and so was Anne Lindstad. Benny was a 60s rocker. He was in a band called Heptar, so he had in the same style as Kings and stuff like that. And Bjorn was more of in a singer-songwriter band called Hootenanny Singers, and I think they were even better before. They had a whole lot better melodies. But I think ABBA has done some really great songs, but they also done some cheesy songs. I feel like.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like that with most bands. I mean, most bands, that we love will say 90% of their catalog is good, but then they always have those little moments in their career where you go, what the hell were they thinking when they wrote that, So.
Hi, James. Hi, George. Well, actually, when I like an artist, actually, I have a hard time to see those really horrible times because many of the times, even if their lower part of the career, they have some stuff with it that actually is it really has something, a little thing that might be good, but it's very hard actually to find an artist that I really do like that has done some horrible stuff. But actually, I think that this is really, really horrendous bad. Might think of Ultravox, maybe the Revelation album that I'm not too fond of. That was whatever did I think of because it was really that bad. But Depeche Mode, my absolute favorite band, for instance, I can't think of any real bad song with Depeche Mode. They've done some songs that are not the best, but they have not done a bad song.
Well, I know nothing about Depeche Mode. I mean, I know a little bit about Ultravox because I know Stephen Schnee did a thing on them just recently on his channel where he went through a bunch of the Ultravox stuff. And I mean, Midge Ure, I mean, I know that he was a pretty big force in the music scene too, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with those bands, Depeche Mode. Now I was never into that, but I'll take your word for it. Right.
I have. I'm missing the first and the third and the second last album in the catalog. Otherwise, I have complete.
That's good. That's good. So what have you done lately, Jorgen, on your channel? Have you done any? As you have vinyl tag responses up now. What's going on with that?
It is a guy called Tune from the Man Cave that have created a jazz vinyl tag that I have been doing. It felt like it was right up my alley. And before that, I did a top 20 of best Depeche Mode songs because I felt that it was. I felt the need for it from people. I know that Invisible Ray had been questioning about it and so on. And then I have celebrated my 400 subscribers with a vinyl update. So that is what I've been doing lately. So it keeps rolling.
Yeah,
and I'm of course all doing showing my collection from different kind of. My complete collection from different kind of genres.
Very nice. Very nice. So what do you have the most? What do you have the most of? Jazz records or what?
I would think pop. Am I guessing right? Pop?
I think that it is pretty much close tie between jazz and 80s. But and I think that the 80s might have a little bit. If you're counting on 80s different genres, 80s soul, 80s synth pop, 80s overall, 80s rock, then I think 80s will be a little bit still in the lead before jazz. But there are times coming. 70s is coming strong.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny. My collection is pretty much hard rock, prog rock stuff. I'm starting to get though a lot more like. I'm starting to find a lot more Bandcamp bands, like bands that nobody really, knows much about unless you like follow the whole Bandcamp thing and find all these obscure labels. Like lately, I found this label online, Heavy Psych Sounds. They're out of Italy, and I got a bunch of. I ordered a bunch of stuff. The one that I just got recently was this Acid Mammoth band. I got this record coming, and it's really like really heavy kind of doom, but with melodic vocals. It's not like rah, rah, rah. It's actual singing, but with these really huge guitars and drums. So it's interesting. And the interesting thing about it is that the singer and the other guitar player is father and son in the band. So it's a very odd dynamic, but they play this really heavy music. I never heard of many bands that had a father and son duo that made that heavy a music before. So it's very interesting.
I know that they weren't heavy music, but there was a band in the late 80s called Jive Bunny. It was a remixer duo. They had a hit with Swinging the Mood and that kind of crap.
Yeah, they did the kind of the same thing that Hooked on Classics was doing.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crappy. But they were actually a father and son disc jockey duo.
Oh, really, eh? Interesting. I never heard of that.
So they were father and son duo. But there aren't many. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because normally father and son doesn't share the same music styles over the generations.
Yeah, that's true. What you pick out there, Anthony?
So I spun. This one came in a couple of weeks ago. Brand new release by this band, which I finally got around to spinning for the first time about a week ago, because I haven't listened to any records for an entire week until last night. I hadn't spun a record for like 8 days. So the last thing I spun was this, and I was really impressed with this. Epica.
Oh, nice.
Their brand new album called Omega.
Mm-hmm.
And man, this is some good shit here, I tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Epica's
really,
good.
really dug this album. Really good production.
Yeah,
Double
Epica's
LP.
good.
It's on a kind of a cool. It's on kind of a cool blue. It's a blue green. They call it a green blue swirl thing. But oh man, good stuff. Symphonic metal. So there's a little bit of grunts, and of course that great operatic voice that the female vocalist has.
Yeah,
it's almost like opera. And they've got on this album they've even got a full orchestra and choir. They have two different choirs, a kids choir and an adult choir and an orchestra that appear as well on this album. So really, really good spin. If you want some really good new symphonic metal, Epica, yeah. Omega.
Yeah, Epic are good. I've always thought they were a decent band. The only thing that just doesn't do it for me, just not them specifically, but I'm not into female singers. It's nothing against girls.
Yeah, you said that before.
I love girls. Don't get me wrong, but I
love girls. I love girls.
Good to know, Mark. Good to know.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. I have nothing against them.
I know it, Mark.
And there's many great guitar players who are girls that I admire, and stuff like that. But it's just and there's also a lot of good female singers. But I think within the metal realm is where I kind of don't click in as much with them. It's like in pop music, and I have no problem with it. It's just I don't know why in metal I just never had that connection with the female voice. I've always just associated more with a male voice for some reason.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, I was kind of the same too, and it wasn't until the 2010s that I even got into this symphonic metal with a lot of the female singers. And it's because I bought this sampler called Symphonic and Opera Metal, which featured Epica, Nightwish, all of the big Camelot, all of the big, Eastern Europe symphonic metal bands that are female fronted. And I just really, that album just, I guess I played it on the right day or something. Yeah. It just caught me, you know what I mean? So I have since got into groups like Epica and Nightwish, Delane, really like Delane. And so.
Yeah. George,
it was definitely not something, it was an acquired taste. It was an acquired taste.
I was going to ask if Nightwish was in the same genre.
Yes, Nightwish, definitely.
Yeah.
Nightwish and then Lee, of course, band. Lee as well.
Yeah. Oh, she makes good stuff. She's definitely good. I think out of all the stuff that I've heard that's like metal influenced or played, I think her stuff is the stuff that I can get into the most
accessible.
Yeah, I think it's the one I can get into the most. I mean, it also helps that she had Eric Peterson from Testament on some of this stuff too. So that kind of
she has the pipe players from Nightwish on her albums, and she farms out a lot of the musical because she just plays basically the keyboards and sings.
Yeah,
does piano and whatnot and sings, and then she farms out all the parts like you do too.
Yeah,
mostly these Eastern European metal bands.
Yeah. I mean, I got to ask though, Jorgen, is this anything that you've ever listened to before yourself, like Nightwish or any of these bands?
To be honest, I have heard Nightwish, and I have a hard time listening to Nightwish, and I'm nothing against females singing rock music or something like that, but her opera sing that kind of a lame opera voice to heavy metal, I can't stand it. I think the voice is horrible. I think the melodies are horrible. I know my sister likes Nightwish, but I had never actually understood their greatness actually.
Yeah, I didn't like Nightwish much either, but I mean over here though, and a lot of the metal magazines, they got really, really huge. I think the keyboard player, I don't remember what his name is, but the keyboard player is like one of these really renowned keyboard players in the metal scene. And he's also known as a pretty good like producer engineer guy for that kind of symphonic operatic metal stuff. And he's everywhere in every metal magazine, because I frequent a lot of metal forums and also a lot of different pages and stuff like that. And Nightwish are pretty well known on that, but just like you, Jorgen, I don't get them. I really don't.
Yeah, I think Nightwish are kind of like the pioneers of symphonic metal, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are. They were the ones who started it.
They're the Ramones of symphonic metal.
I guess that by far is the most successful ones.
But as far as metal bands go, female-fronted metal bands, I've really gotten into Burning Witches the last couple of years. Burning Witches, I think they just are about to or just released their new album. They released one last year. I've got 3 albums by Burning Witches, and they're an all-female metal band. All the members of the band are female, including the lead vocalist. And good stuff. It's good metal. I know. Straight up metal.
My knowledge about metal is pretty null, but there's actually one band that I like. I know it may sound a little bit cheap, but the only band that I know that consisting just females that are actually in that genre and that I actually think is really good, and that is Vixen. I know that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I know that they may be a little bit 80s style, but I think that they're actually are pretty good.
Yeah,
Another
I
one-
mean,
yeah,
I
another
remember
one I
Roxy Peterson and those people. They were very good. You know, their bass player was in a lot of other bands too. I don't remember her name, but she was in another band with Bobby Blotzer of Rat and people like that. They did this side project with her. And the people in Vixen were actually very competent people in that band. And no, Doro Pesh is not Nightwish.
And then there's other bands like Battle Beast. I like Battle Beast a lot. That's another female-fronted symphonic metal band. And I like Beast in Black, which is a male-fronted symphonic metal band. And Stradivarius, another great band, Stradivarius.
Yeah, Stradivarius is good.
Stradivarius is really good.
So I got to ask you then, Jorgen. So since we were talking about metal, let's get to the topic that you can chime in on a little bit easier too. I remember Nee, who was supposed to be on here today, she put up a post recently about 5 desert island albums to bring with you. So I got to ask.
Her dad was going to choose something. Yeah.
Yeah, her and her dad picked. So Jorgen, what would you pick if you were to go to a desert island? What would you take with you?
This one.
This
is a bag I bought a couple of years ago that I put my favorite albums ever. So I'm picking this entire with me.
Now, is that more than 5?
Definitely.
So what would you pick?
5.
What were your top 5 out of that?
You're only allowed to bring 5, Jorgen. There's a weight limit on the boat, on the sinking boat.
Go.
What would you pick your 5? What ones do you think would be your ones? Okay.
Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles solo album from Your Boy.
Mm-hmm. I've been looking for that. That's supposed to be really good. I've been looking for that.
It's really amazing pop pearls. Sounds a little bit about Bangles, but a little more looser in the melodies.
Is that an original? Or is that a reissue? Or is that an original? Or what is it?
Original. I bought it when it came out.
Wow, yeah, I haven't seen that around. I'd like to get that.
So this is an amazing, one of the best albums I ever known. It would be pretty foolish if I didn't take Depeche Mode, Violator. Alphaville, Forever Young, childhood nostalgia, but also so amazing arranged and melodies.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't like Neil Diamond, Invisible Ray.
I would pick a jazz, and then I would pick Lenny Tristano.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, relaxing, cool jazz style for this. And I think I would take. It would be very foolish if I didn't take the first album I ever bought.
Oh, let's see.
It's really classic. It's a little worn out, but who wouldn't?
Hardcastle. Wow.
I had
That's the first album you ever owned, really?
Pardon?
Interesting.
That's the first album you ever bought, Hardcastle?
Yes, I bought it back in 1986.
Interesting choice for your first album.
Yeah, because I was madly in love with 19, the hit single 19. And because I was 11 at the time, and for an 11-year-old to hear a song that was totally with sound effects I thought it was so cool. The problem was that when I got this home and put it on the turntable, I was disappointed at first, because 19 was in a not just as good album remix. And I learned to love that album remix today. And the rest of the album I was hoping an album filled with sound effects and sounding just like 19, and what I got was a kind of smooth jazz style that Paul Hardcastle had been known for later on. But the more I listened to it, the more I got into it, and today it is one of the most important, if not the most important album I own. And it's so relaxing. It is really well made, and definitely. I think in that case, these 5.
Very nice. Very, very nice. That's a great selection. What would you take, Anthony?
Oh, boy. 5 albums only, huh?
Well, I think of it this way. This shouldn't have to be something that you have to think hard about. It should just be like, if records that you love that much that you would take, they should come rather quickly to you, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they probably. I don't want to be like cliche, but okay, I'll just go 5 because they're going to be my 5 from my 5 favorite bands, probably.
Yeah,
too.
but it doesn't matter if it's cliche. It's your 5 favorites, you know. I hate when people pick odd ones, you know.
I would take $1 Billion Babies, Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
I would take Moontan, Canadian pressing, Golden Earring, the Canadian version, which had a better track listing.
Mm-hmm.
I would take Moontan. I would take $1 Billion Babies. I would take, what would I take? I would take Introspective by the Pet Shop Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I would take Bad Reputation by Thin Lizzy.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4. And probably, fifth. Who would I go with fifth? That's a toss-up on fifth. Off top of my head, Santana's debut album, Santana.
Interesting. For me, it's very simple. I would take Rush, Hemispheres. I would take that with me. I would take Genesis.
If I were to take Rush, I'd take Hemispheres.
Yeah, I take Genesis, Nursery Crime. I love that record. I always have, always will. Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. I would take that with me for sure.
Oh, Hot Rats, really?
Yeah, I love Hot Rats. It's a great record. I would also take what was that other thing I was going to take there now? Yes, for Yes, I was going to take Relayer, hands down. It's my favorite Yes album for sure.
Found a Relayer. I didn't see one today on the
I got one for you. I'll bring it to you. And the other record, now that I think about it, what would be the fifth one that I would take? I think most likely I would probably end up taking it's a toss-up between Kiss or King Crimson, and I think I'd probably take Kiss. And if I was to take a Kiss record, I would probably end up taking, which is my favorite Kiss record, which is Rock and Roll Over.
I was about to say Rock and Roll Over. Yeah. I think I know you pretty well.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy for me because I have answered this question 9 million times on the channels with different kind of threads and contests through my.
The only reason I chose those 5 was because they probably are 5 of my most played albums of my lifetime. Others I would have taken. I probably would have. On another day, I might have said Jimi Hendrix Experience Smash Hits. Another album I've played to death and I've had on cassette and 8-track and multiple versions on vinyl and CD. And
if anyone is interested in what is more in this one,
yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Sure. We have Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygen.
Ooh, nice album.
Such an amazing instrumental.
Good album.
Critical Cupid and Psych is some really 80s summer music deluxe. Level 42, I just love Level 42, and Running in the Family is definitely my favorite.
Mark King's a great bass player.
Amazing bass player. Nick Kershaw, maybe commercial, but this is childhood memories, but also.
Who was Nick Kershaw with originally?
England.
Was he not with another band?
No.
I have this feeling like he was in some other band.
No. He had the original and I Won't Let the Sun Go Down on Me and all this. But this is.
Oh, yeah.
They might say that the Riddle is a pretty stupid song. I think it's a great song, but the rest of the album is such an amazing pop songs. Relaxing. This is German disco singer Sandra she has very dreamy, atmospheric sound that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, of course, Fleetwood Mac.
Yes.
Rumors.
Yeah.
I just love this album to death.
That's a classic.
I would take Fleetwood Mac Rumors, but make sure it sits on a different island.
and this is a sadly forgotten big band leader called Boyd Rayburn. He was a little ahead of his time, mixing big band music with a little modern classical music style, and amazing, really amazing.
Good choices from George Nanos. Hey, Miss Mayhem in the beauty salon. Why didn't you come on camera? Let's see you in the beauty salon getting your hair done.
George
Nanos is going Kiss Alive.
Is good.
George Nanos is going Kiss Alive, Alice Cooper Killer, Bruce Springsteen, The River. Oh, that's a great album. The Beatles, Abbey Road, Rush, Fly By Night.
Yeah, Fly By Night.
To go 5 because I could go. There's so many albums. I mean,
yeah.
If you ask me this question next week, I could probably pick a completely different 5. You know?
Yeah, but that's just the thing. To me, this always has to be, in my opinion, it has to come to you, because that's when you start overthinking it too much. You're like, and you start thinking of what would be the coolest record I could say. I'm going to pick some lost Beethoven pressing, that, it's like, no, it shouldn't be that. It should be an easy pick, because these are the things you're going to want to listen to for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So I think that these are all very accurate picks, I think. So great stuff. So Jorgen, are you making this collection in case of something like that happening? You have to run away at the last minute. You're going to take these records with you?
Is this something you're going to leave to somebody to remember you by? Or what's the deal?
I thought about it later on that it was actually a good idea for that also, but I think I just did it because it was cool to have your favorite records in a separate place.
Yeah, I've thought about doing the same thing as you, as taking maybe 20 of my absolute favorite albums that mean a lot to me and putting them separate. I've seen, I know other people have done it. I know that, for example, Naz Nomad has a 45 singles box that he puts 45s in that are very, very important to his lifetime, and those it's going to pass on to his kids. You know what I mean? It's like an heirloom. It's he doesn't care what happens to the rest of his collection, but please, this is my legacy. Keep this box of 45s. So I kind of feel the same. Like, what would my daughter do with my collection? Maybe I should separate those 20 great albums that I love with a passion for her to, and say, please keep these ones. This is the memory of my love of music. So keep these ones aside.
But interesting is that this kind of bags is very easy to find when it comes to singles. But I don't think I ever seen many of these kind of box when it comes to full lengths.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I've ever seen many of those either. So Stephen Schnee put, Nick Kershaw was in a pre-famed band called Fusion. They didn't do well in the charts, but that was 1982 or so. Yeah. So
nice information, Stephen. I didn't know that, actually. So you learn something new every day. Thumbs up for that.
Yeah, see, I thought Nick was in some other band. I thought he was. That he came out of something.
And Mega Jeff put, that would be interesting idea to leave as a legacy. So yeah, I think that you're getting the thumbs up on that idea as well.
Yeah, I've thought about it before, because like I said, I've seen a couple other people I know that have done it, and it's not a bad idea, because when I'm gone, like when you're gone, what's your family going to do with all, like, what's my family going to do with all these movies and Funkos and statues? I've been trying to teach my daughter that all these vinyl anime statues I have, they're worth money. They need to be sold properly. It's not just junk. So I've been trying to impress over the last couple of years on her the value of these things. And if something should happen to me, that if she doesn't want to keep them, that she sell them for the value they are. Don't get burned by some junk collector that's just going to clean out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Don't forget, though, in time, who knows what'll happen with certain things? Some might go up, some might go down.
Exactly.
You got to keep an eye on that.
It's all pop culture collectibles, and there is a market for it. You just have to sell it properly.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to teach her that, but like the record collection, I should take like 20, 25 albums aside and keep it just in a separate little section saying Anthony's legacy albums or something.
Yeah, or records that mean the most to you.
So that when she goes to sell, if she doesn't want to keep the collection and she goes to sell it, she'll know these are my dad's special albums, not everything but can go, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have anyone to teach, so I go with the time. I'm living carpe diem. I'm here right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the same thing with me. I mean, I'm single. I don't have kids, but the thing is,
but you still have, your mom's, you have relatives, and they're going to be stuck with
your
stuff by default. By default, they're going to be stuck with your stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, my mom will obviously pass long before me. But the thing is, what I'm planning to do,
you can get hit by a truck tomorrow, Mark.
Yeah,
God forbid. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm going to probably end up giving my stuff to my nephews, because they're very musically inclined. The one plays in a band, that I've actually worked. I actually mixed one of his records. So, I mean, I can totally see him taking all my stuff. Because I know when he comes to my place, he's always like, ooh, what you got in here downstairs? He starts coming in here. He'll start fiddling with my keyboard, or he'll take my double neck guitar and start fiddling with it a bit. So all those things I already told him. When I'm gone or whatever, those things will become yours, right? So he's already like probably wishing that, there's some kind of poison that'll come and, knock me off so he can get all this stuff off of me already.
That's pretty dark. This just took a dark turn.
But you know what I mean? He's excited about it, so.
That is also a question that I got numerous times in during my years of vinyl community, in threads and so on. What to do with my collection in the case of my passing, but I've been thinking like that. I can only hope, but I can only
Hello,
hope
Liam.
that they know what I
Hello,
would do.
Liam.
That I would
Hello,
keep
Star
them.
Trekker.
But since I will no longer be here, I can't control whether they do it or not, and I can't judge what they do because I won't be here then. So I guess it's up to them to know if they. I hope that they know what I would do, but well, then it's up to them if they want to do it or not. I won't be here. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is up to them. But I'm lucky though because I know my nephews. I know how they are. Music is something that's just as important to them. At least two of them. The third one, he's very into cars and stuff like that. So I think if I had like a '72 Camaro, he would be more into that. But
so you said nephews, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean you have a sister?
I have 3 sisters.
You never really talked about. I don't think we've ever talked about your family before.
So I got an older sister, Jane, who's actually responsible for everything musically that happened to me because she had all the Kiss records, all the Alice Cooper. She had everything, and then she had a huge collection of records. I think she still has them, but all my music introduction was through her. I got 2 younger sisters. One is named Rebecca. She's into books, and she's a very big into English lit and stuff like that. And my youngest sister, Monica, she's very cool. She had the same musical taste as me. She liked, all the hard rock stuff and stuff like that. So each of them had, my oldest sister had 3 boys. So those are the nephews I'm talking about. Rebecca had 2 daughters. So those are my 2 nieces. And my youngest sister, Monica, who was actually just by here earlier, she has 1 boy. Youngest is the boy, and 2 daughters. So I got quite a few nieces and nephews.
You want to come up, Jax?
So there you go. So as far as that sort of a thing, I mean, I know them well, and who would want stuff and who wouldn't want stuff. I know that, whenever I make a record, my nephews, they're right away like, Mark, you got a new Projekt Gemineye album? I'm on it. I want one. But my nieces, some of them like it. Like my oldest niece, Madeline, she likes my music, so that's cool. But the other ones are kind of like, nah, they're more into like the pop music of the time. So that's cool. You can't expect them to like everything that you do, right? So,
James, I'll let you up in a little bit, buddy. Just be patient. Jack, if you can come up, I got to tell you something.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a long time since I saw Jack on the street.
Yeah,
I know. Jack's
cool.
Welcome here. I owe Jack a record, so.
And he's a Rush fan, so that's good with me. So he's welcome anytime.
Yeah, you can see the Rush album I got today. Jack, come up so I can show you the Rush album I got today.
Jorgen, I didn't even ask you that. Are you into Rush or not?
I hardly no. The little I've heard of Rush haven't impressed me one bit. So
what is it? The voice? Let me guess. The voice.
No, the sound.
Really, you're not a rock. I don't think Jorgen is big on the rock.
He's not a hard rock guy at all.
No, he's not a hard rock guy.
But I do have. I like. I've realized that there are exceptions in every genre. There are golden things in every genre almost. And in hard rock, I like Deep Purple. I like Gary Moore's Ace. I like Rat, Vixen. Some 80s rock. I do. Actually,
you like the 80s hair metal.
In some cases, yes. I'm not liking all of them, but there are some great stuff. But most of them, I have a hard time with the aggressive side. It's a little too aggressive for my taste.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody has different tastes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's just what makes this world go round and what makes it interesting.
Absolutely.
Right?
I never put anybody down for their taste in music at all.
Yeah.
Even though I get kidded a lot about my taste in music, I have a wide taste of music. What can I say? I love pop, but I can sit here and on a Sunday afternoon play a metal album, play something really pop, jump to a jazz album, jump to a singer-songwriter album, all in one day. I can just go from one genre like drastic
extra time here. I can go from a genuine 70s soul album to an 80s synth pop to jazz. Then maybe I could relax to maybe Bach, Baroque music. So it's wide span, and I can also, as I said, Deep Purple.
So I'm actually I am very curious about one thing though, Jorgen. I picked up a couple of tone poets. I picked up Grant Green, Nigeria. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, he's a guitar guy who played with Art Blakey and those guys.
Okay.
And I also picked up Art Blakey and the Jazz Ambassadors' Roots and Herbs, that album. That's a tone poet that just came out now. I got that. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that record.
Art Blakey I know, but only the Jazz Messengers.
Yeah. Well, but that album is called Roots and Herbs. And the last one I got is Bobby Hutcherson. I got Oblique. That's
I'm going to say that the
I
jazz
got a couple of Bobby
like
Hutcherson albums. I'm a big vibraphone guy.
Yeah.
The jazz I like is mostly older guys from before 60s. Free jazz, avant-garde jazz, and so on. I want a melody. I want a rhythm. And the free jazz has in most cases none of it.
I'll show you one more from my haul today, which is a jazz album.
Jack, long time.
I was actually really pleased to find.
Hi. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing, Jax?
Hey, Jax, buddy.
I'm doing well.
So I found this one today, George Shearing.
Yeah.
Soft and silky. And the reason I got it because it's the George Shearing Quintet. When he's got that vibraphone player, guitar, bass, drums, and of course George Shearing, a great pianist.
Interesting.
And this is a practically near mint first press.
I thought that you bought. I thought that
looks freaking amazing. It's on. Look at this. Look at this MGM label.
It's funny. It's funny. I thought that for sure that the reason why you picked it up was because of that cover.
No, what? That all jazz in the 50s has these stupid covers.
Actually, George Shearing has some familiar to this guy, Leonard Tristano, the pianist here, and that is that they both use block chords when they're playing piano.
George Shearing is one of my mother's favorite musicians. So that was half the reason I picked it up. Her favorite musicians of all time are like George Shearing, Oscar Peterson. So I jumped on this George Shearing, especially when I saw it was a first press that is super clean on this classic MGM label. I mean, isn't that cool?
I have nothing against George Shearing. I think he has done some great stuff, but he has done also some stuff that sounds a little too close to easy listening style. But I think it's some great stuff he really has done with George Shearing also. Definitely. Cool.
Well, yeah, just to show you that we were talking about tastes and spinning. Last night, when I spent my first records in a week, I started off with Peggy Lee. So we got some real old jazz crooner from the 50s.
Yeah,
Peggy Lee, which
I
was
I think I have some Peggy Lee recordings with Benny Goodman. She's done a whole lot of recordings with Benny Goodman.
And as a piece of trivia on this particular Peggy Lee, this is basically a best of album. It's, all her greats, Fever, My Heart Belongs to Daddy, all those classic. He's a Tramp, which was of course in Lady and the Tramp. All the classics are on here, but there's one song on here which is very popular called Golden Earrings. And what is special about Golden Earrings is when George Koyman formed the band Golden Earring, they were first called the Tornadoes. So when he made his first band, they used to play, little high schools and whatnot. They were, a teen band. They were called the Tornadoes before they changed to Golden Earrings. And the reason they changed to Golden Earrings is because one of the songs that they played as the Tornadoes was a cover of Peggy Lee's Golden Earrings. It was a cover they would play. And that's where the name of Golden Earring came from, was from this song, Golden Earrings by Peggy Lee.
Interesting.
So I played this last night, followed it up immediately by
Halloween.
So there you go. Talk about going from one end of the spectrum to the other in a single listing, from Peggy Lee to Halloween. That's how I listen to records.
That is the main thing when you're out shopping. A lot of guys who actually is niched in 60s or something like that, they're going to a thrift store, don't find anything for maybe a month. While I'm going there, like everything from left to right, and I come home with something every time.
Yeah.
And Jack,
yes.
Look what I bought today, buddy.
That I just ordered that off of Discogs. That's crazy. I just ordered that yesterday off of Discogs.
It was only ever released in small quantity one time, never been repressed. I found it in my store today for $20.
Yeah.
I bought it.
It's probably been played once,
Yeah, so
I didn't even know that album even existed until I walked in and saw it today.
It's off of Time Machine. So it's a tour they did in 2011.
Mhm.
Yeah,
and
it's
they
the 20th
played
Time
moving.
Machine tour.
Yeah, they
But it's
played
just
moving
the,
pictures
it's just
all
the
the way
Moving
through.
Pictures album, right?
Yeah, so they played moving pictures all the way through, and if you have the Time Machine box set, I think I have it back there. It's
Yeah.
just like side C and D, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
So
what
they
I.
obviously they released it
Cool.
as a standalone too.
So
Very
so
small
Jack,
quantity.
George asked you, what's your opinion on 80s Rush?
I think I think pretty much answered.
I'm a huge fan of it because Moving Pictures is my favorite album of all time. That obviously came out in '81, so I would definitely say I'm more of a fan of early '80s Rush. Not so much later stuff, but I can dig the heavy synth stuff that they released. So,
And Jack, I have not forgot about your record. I was actually looking at it the other day. I was going to take it in this past
looking
week.
at it.
I was going to
completely
finally
forgot
mail it
about it.
because they lifted our lockdown on the 22nd. They lifted the lockdown thing. So I was like, okay, I feel a little more confident. I'll go to the post office and mail it to you.
yeah,
And then last night we went back in lockdown.
yeah.
Oh,
I
boy.
forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. I'm glad
No,
someone
I haven't
remembered.
forgotten. I just wanted to make sure you knew I hadn't forgotten about you.
Yeah,
I
I
will
don't.
get it. And now I have to send it to the US. I got to go online and do some shit online apparently to mail it.
Yeah,
to.
it's
Oh yeah, you've had to do that for a while. I've been sending my records, and you have to go online onto the phone. They have a customs thing on here. You just go when you fill it all out, and then you can print it out, and you got to bring the papers with you to the post office, or you can they give you one of those square things that they scan, like those little square box information things, and you can just get them to scan it, and that's it. So it's not
I
that
don't-
A
difficult.
QR code.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do with Canada Post, but here in the U.S., I ship all the packages from my house. They just whenever they mail stuff, they can just pick it up and then they can send it. So you just book a little appointment on the website, USPS, and then they'll pick it up. So
That's
I don't know
cool.
if
I
that-
wish they did that here.
I
You
don't
know.
know if it's the case with
they
you
don't do
guys,
that
but
here.
No,
Yeah.
they don't do that
Don't do
here.
that here.
So Liam, to answer your question, it says, "Hey Mark, do you think Alan White will be in good enough shape to perform next year?" No way in hell. Alan White is pretty much now just like an ambassador for Yes. He'll tour with them. He'll maybe do one song with them on stage, but it's all Jay Shellen now, and I think that's for the best because Jay Shellen is a way better drummer now than Alan White is. Alan White, his time is done drumming. I mean, I love the guy. I've seen him hundreds of times. I've talked to him many times, but that ain't happening. He's going to be there just for ambassador, doing interviews, doing the signings and stuff like that. But he ain't going to be playing dick all, to be quite honest. So that's that. What's here? Same here. I haven't been in the post office in years. I had to print and stick it in my mailbox to pick up. So you guys are lucky in the U.S. that you guys have your mail guys come and pick stuff up for you because we have to physically still go to our post office and do this. You guys are very, very lucky. What about you, Jorgen? How does it work for the post there?
Depends on how big your package is. If it is big shipping, or you had to go down to the shopping mall nowadays to pick it up. If it is pretty small and it fits in the mailbox, they just squeeze it in. So depending on how big it is.
That's
so
good.
we just leave it on the porch, print out a label from USPS, and paper it on there.
And then, of course, it depends on how which kind of mailman we have, because I have some horrible idiots who put it outside the door just so in bad cases someone could just snap it if they want to. I have some when I order CDs from a web shop, they got it in this kind of a envelope, and the mailman just squeezed it into the mailbox and it landed on the boom on the floor. I was lucky that all the CDs was actually in good shape after that.
Our mailman is there's the flag on the mailbox that you can put up if you want to get the what I'm talking about. This guy will take grocery bags, put a package on it, and hang it on the flag when he doesn't want to go all the way up. It's broken our little flag on the mailbox probably 5 times. So I don't know what it is with lazy people at this point, but
I live in an apartment actually, so I don't have I have the mailbox in the door. Outdoor.
Yeah.
Okay, for Liam, he requested that he enjoyed me showing the Morricone albums the other day. So he said, could I show if you could get a minute, could you please show an Ennio Morricone Western again? So yeah, this is a series that I've been collecting for a year. The first volume, it's called Morricone Ennio Morricone, one of my favorite film composers of all time, who passed away last summer. But this series was announced before he passed away, so it's not like some cash grab or something. Did a series of 5 albums, and they're all double albums done by Music on Vinyl, which are, of course, fantastic pressings. Beautiful color variants I've never seen used anywhere before. And so what they did is they did 5 volumes, and it's called the series is called Themes, and each volume explored a different genre of themes. So there's a Westerns album, which was the first one. The first one dropped last July, and then it's been every 2 months for 10 months that you had to pre-order these things, and they're all limited to like 1,000 or 1,500 copies or something. So you had to pre-order all of them.
Yeah.
And I finally just completed the set about a couple of weeks ago. I completed the set. So the first one was Westerns, which is all of the mostly all the spaghetti Westerns, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, all those, and plus a pile of others, because they're all double LPs. So you have, and inside they got posters of all the film posters and booklets on each one comes with a book that talks about the music. So the first one was Themes. Volume 1 was Themes. Then
like a nice collection.
Volume 2 was called Psycho, which was all the kind of horror stuff music he did. All the horror and Gaiello music. Well, not horror music. All the horrors that he did. The next one was called Lounge, which is all like lounge music from various
I love those
films.
chairs. I wanted one so badly.
I know, isn't that cool? Yeah. So next, I think Austin Powers had one in one of his movies.
Yeah, the woman wouldn't be bad to have either, I guess.
Lounge was the next one, and I haven't spun these yet. I'm going to be spinning them this week. Then Volume 4 was Gaiello, which is name speaks for itself, from all the Gaiello films, which are like Italian murder mysteries. And then the last one, which just came out, Passion, which is all kind of the romantic exploitation and sexual kind of music films, Italian films. Most of this stuff is all from Italian films. So that's the whole collection, all of them double vinyls. And then when you have them in your library, I like when they do stuff like this. If you look at them, the ends go together to spell Morricone.
Oh, nice.
When you have all 5 of them together, you get the complete.
Yeah, they do
which
that
is
with
kind of cool.
Yeah. I've never bought a collection like that where it's like they all line up a lot of books.
Yeah, piece by piece too. So it's tough, I'm pre-ordering, and you miss one, you're gonna feel like crap. Like, no, I didn't get volume 3.
I have a DVD collection with that, and I have some Donald Duck books with that, but not albums.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't have a collection. The only thing I have close to that is when I got my Iron Maiden stuff, they have the spines of it all line up to make a big Eddie on there.
Yeah. On all those the 2010s reissues, right?
Yeah. So that's another cool kind of collection to have. Just to answer Liam here, he also put, personally, Mark, I don't rate Jay for yes, capable drummer, but not for yes. Well, I mean, everybody has their taste. I mean, lots of people thought that Dylan Howe should have been the drummer for yes, because he sat in for a tour with them and he wasn't too bad, but we'll see what happens. Hey, you got to remember, this is all a business about connections. And Jay Shellen is hugely connected to Billy Sherwood. Billy Sherwood's hugely connected to Yes in general. So obviously he's going to get the job. So let's see.
Secret's being told, and I'll probably get in shit for this, but secrets be told, I always preferred Trevor Rabin as a guitarist over Steve Howe. Go figure.
There's a lot of people like that.
His style of guitar playing is more my groove than Steve Howe's.
Yeah. Same here with me. I like Trevor Rabin too. I mean, Steve Howe, the only thing I never liked about his sound is he's too clean and too jazzy.
Very clean and twingy.
Yeah, I like the more heavier guitar tone of Trevor Rabin.
Yeah, it's more
for sure.
Rabin's more of a rock guitar, it's got a little more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
why I love Big Generator so much.
He does Trevor Rabin
like a rock album.
Yeah, Trevor Rabin does a lot of film score stuff. He does a lot of stuff for big movies for Hollywood, and but he started doing that after Yes. He got introduced to what's that guy, that action guy? I forget his name now. The guy who did those really bad like action movies. It'll come back to me. But anyways,
I know you're talking about
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Not Van Damme.
Pearl Harbor and all that stuff.
what's his name?
The director, right? The director you talking
no,
about?
the actor, this actor guy.
Steven
Who,
Seagal.
John
That's
Claude
it,
Van Damme?
Steven Seagal. That's it.
Steven Seagal. That's right. Yeah, it was Seagal.
He
'Cause
met
did
Seagal. Seagal
Yeah.
asked for lessons from him, guitar lessons from him, and he said, okay, great. So he went and gave him guitar lessons. After he did the guitar lessons, Steven Seagal goes, listen, if you need help with anything, if I can help you, pay you back somehow, let me know. And he goes, well, I'm looking to get into doing movie film scores. He goes, okay,
and
well,
he
you can
did-
do my
Rabin
movie.
did Under Siege. I think Rabin
Yeah.
scored Under Siege.
Yeah, he did a
Never Seen
Seagal
Film.
movie right that time. He did a Steven Seagal movie. And from there on in, he's done nothing but that. And that's really where his bread and butter is. He has a huge house in California, so, and that's why when ARW formed and they went out and did that tour for a while, when they decided to split up and not do it anymore, he didn't care because he wanted to go back and make movie scores again, because that's where he was making a killing of his money. So, you got to go where the money is, I guess, right?
But if I'm not wrong, Stephen Rabin has also produced different artists in the pop business.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm not too familiar with his. I mean, he was in a band before called Rabbit when he was in South Africa. They were a huge teen band, like that all the girls in South Africa loved, right? And then he came to England in hopes to continue his success. That's where he met Chris Squire, and they reformed Yes with him in the band, right? So it's very interesting what happened with him. But I mean, he had some, great songs that he wrote. Even his solo records are fantastic as well. So, very interesting career of that guy. So, Jax, I got to ask you, buddy, what's your latest pickup you've gotten? What record have you got?
But I haven't gone shopping in a while because COVID is getting really big here in Maryland. The cases are going up. So I just placed an order on Discogs. One of the things I got was the moving pictures thing that Anthony just showed. But
That's funny that I got that, and then today you're like, I just ordered that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So I've been really getting into Naz, the group with Todd Rundgren.
Yeah.
Their first two records, the debut album and then Naz are really, really good. So hopefully I can pick those up on vinyl. Well, I ordered them yesterday, but they did.
Getting into the Todd, are you? You're getting into the Todd now, huh?
A little bit, yeah. I'm trying to.
How about some Utopia? You got to try some Utopia on for side. Todd Rundgren's Utopia.
I heard a lot about them. There's a record store owner, the Soundgarden owner here in Maryland, that really loves them. It's like his favorite band. So Naz is one of my biggest listens right now. If I'm in the car with Apple Music or something, I'll put on them. So I've been really getting into them. There's also a I don't know, it's called Tilt, the band, and they have an album out called Music. Just music, and that's been really good. So I've been listening to that.
I think I've heard of that for some reason. I don't know where I heard of it, but yeah,
it
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can't. I don't think it's on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that. But I ordered that yesterday too. So yeah, a couple of, I guess, underrated things. Almost you don't really hear a lot about Tilt. So
yeah, that's cool. So Jorgen, what kind of records would you recommend us to listen to that you've been listening to of late? What's your big listening thing that you're doing right now?
Right now, I listen most to jazz, actually, because I scored a pretty big jazz. I hit it pretty big when it comes to jazz albums. I bought 10 great jazz albums at a thrift store recently, so I'm trying to go through them.
Oh, really?
I actually listened to this a while back, I think a couple of days ago. This is from Ethiopia. Gigi is from Ethiopia, and she is doing
Christopher.
Ethiopian African music, but with a whole blend of jazz and soul and funk also. You have names here like Herbie Hancock, Pharoah Sanders, and Wayne Shorter. And it's actually real good with African beats, but with some jazz in the edges and funk in the edges. And I also have listened recently to Smithereens.
Smithereens, good stuff.
Oh yeah.
I really like this band. This is the best of that I got a hold of, and that is amazing. Really great if you want to start getting into Smithereens indie rock.
Smithereens, yeah, I have 2 of their albums on CD. I have what's the one with the white? Have you got them handy, Jorgen? The one with the white cover with the red The white and red cover.
That is
11 or what's it called?
Yeah, I have 11.
11.
I
And then the one
that.
after that with the orange cover. I have that one as well.
I can't
It was,
remember.
it was the follow-up to 11. 11 was really good.
The Smithereens, huh? I'm not too familiar with those guys.
Yeah, great band. Alternative
You
rock
can call
from
it some indie rock.
yeah,
the
indie
80s.
rock from the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s.
Interesting.
I'm
Wow.
Googling the album.
And who did? I'm going to bring a record store day out here.
Blow Up.
Blow up. That's what
I don't have that one.
So those jazz records that you're listening to, Jorgen, which one has impressed you so far?
So here's a Smithereens.
Hang on a second.
Okay, yeah.
So which one?
This one. I know that the sleeve looks pretty boring. They always do when we Mercury's Jazz Masters series.
Mercury, huh?
This is Coleman Hawkins, the tenor saxophone player, and the rhythm and the trumpet kings. There was a label in the World War II called Keynote.
Mm-hmm.
They existed for a very short time, but they did very, very smooth and very, very great swing music that I really, really like, but they're very hard to get a hold of. And this is Coleman Hawkins with just recordings from the Keynote label. And I'm very happy to get a hold of this one. So I have one before album with Coleman Hawkins and Keynote, but it would be fun also to get a hold of Keynote recordings that aren't with Coleman Hawkins only. But I'm really happy for everything I can get. There are a Keynote box set with 21 records that I really want to get a hold of. It's expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can very imagine. So, Anthony, let's see that Smithereens there you got.
So here's another Smithereens. This is a record store day Smithereens. And this is actually a really good spin. The Smithereens do Tommy.
Interesting.
Wow.
Oh, really? Wow.
The Who's Tommy.
Wow.
And it's really good. It is a really good
Is
cover,
it,
I guess you could call it cover. You
is
know?
it Pat Denisio's Smithereens?
Pardon?
Is it Pat Denisio's Smithereens?
I'd have to look and see who's.
I'm guessing there's two different versions of the
Yeah,
band.
there's two different Smithereens. This one was originally recorded in. When was this recorded originally? This is the first time on vinyl. Record Store Day thing. On a green. I'd have to read the liner notes to see which version of Smithereens it is.
Do they not have the bands there, the band members?
No, it's not. It's not obvious.
Green Thought Star Powered. That's also a great album.
Jim Babbitt, the Smithereens. Let's see. Here we go. Smithereens. Jim Babbitt. Dennis Dyken. Pat Denisio.
Yes, that is the same.
Right.
There you go.
That's
We lost Pat. I think we lost Pat Denisio a couple of years ago.
Well, yeah, great album. If you can find it, really good spin. They do, Overture, It's a Boy, Amazing Journey, Sparks, Eyesight to the Blind, Christmas, Acid Queen, Pinball Wizard, Go to the Mirror, Tell Me Can You Hear Me, Sensation, I'm Free, and We're Not Going to Take It.
Actually, there are another Smithereens because I actually made a goof once. I bought a single that said Smithereens on a 7-inch, and I thought, wow, I've never seen a Smithereens on 7-inch. So I bought it. Got home with it. It looked pretty strange with the girl and the guy in front. I was thinking, what is this? I put
Great cover art.
It was disco.
Really?
Smithereens of disco, and I looked at Google up. We have the Smithereens, and we have just Smithereens, which is a Dutch disco group. So it felt like donkey ears full in my head, and I was like, "Oh, you stupid assholes!"
Yeah, Star Trekker. Thank you. That was the other Smithereens album I have. Blow Up. 11
Very
and Blow
cool.
Up, and then I have that Tommy as well.
Yeah, looking
Very
at
nice.
the discography on Discogs, it looks like they did a lot of covers. Like I'm seeing a whole comp of just their covers, and then
Yeah, Smithereens did a couple cover albums. You did.
yeah,
Very cool.
Star Power name in Green Thoughts.
I saw the new Weezer album in the store today. There's a new Weezer album that came out, And it actually shocked me because Weezer always have, the red album, the teal album, the black album, the blue album, the blah, 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 blah. I saw the new Weezer album in the Sunrise Records today, and it actually had a title, and it actually had a picture on the cover.
This one's a real
Weezer. What the hell are they doing? They're messing me up.
The indie exclusive of the Weezer album is supposed to be fairly hard to get. I've heard a lot of people saying that they can't get a hold of it. I heard Spin Me Round has a couple copies left, but a lot of people are struggling.
This Weezer album, and it has like a picture on the cover, and it's got a title. Like Weezer albums just say Weezer, and then they're in color.
I know that Rachel had got a hold of it. She has showed it at her stream.
Interesting.
But,
okay, guys. Listen, I have to get going though. I have to go
get
my
that time with Mark. It's his usual checkout time.
Yeah, I got to get rolling here. But thank you very much for having me on
and helping me out to get going.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, you have Jackson, you have Jorgen. I'm sure there's going to be others who will probably pop on.
And quickly before you go, tell everybody where you're at with your recording and pressing.
Oh, yes.
And a little shameless plug for your stuff.
So as of right now, the album is just waiting on the pressing of the vinyl itself. Everything else is done. I signed all the albums. They have all the posters and the download cards, everything. Going back to Train Records, they have everything. They're just waiting for the actual vinyl. Once that comes, they just shrink wrap it, and then that's it. They ship it out. I get my copies, and that's that. The Dark Monarchy stuff, I have 3 more guitar solos to do, and that album is completely done. I just have to mix it then and master it, and then that's going to be done. That's going to also come out this time on both CD and vinyl, and of course, it's going to be a digital. There's also going to be a special 5th anniversary lace cut only pressing of An Ordinary Day coming out as well for Record Store Day this year. I'm looking forward to doing. It's going to be a remaster of it that I'm going to do for it as well. So I'm looking very forward to that. That's going to be very cool. And after that's done in June, I'm going to start writing In the Year 3073 Book 3, the last part of the story. And I already have the album cover done of that. James McCarthy already sent it to me, so I'm already way ahead of the game on that. So that's what's going on in my world. And
you said that is Train shipping the albums directly to people this time, or are you?
Train is shipping one huge shipment of albums to San Francisco, and they're gonna. My buddy who is doing my distribution there is sending all the U.S. orders from there, and another box is going to the UK. And my buddy over there is doing all the European and UK orders from there, because that's how I got them to get such low shipping. Like people were paying $5 for shipping because it's going straight from there. They're gonna, you know what I mean? So I don't have to send it from here, because if I sent it here, it's like $17 for shipping or even more. But from where it is in San Francisco, it's like a couple of bucks for the US Post to send a vinyl copy, right? So it's a lot cheaper for there. And then the only thing I'm sending out is the Canadian orders and the Australian orders, and that's it.
So mine copy is
comes right to me, and I'll give it right to you, so you don't even have to wait. So there you go. As soon as I get it, it'll go right to your door.
I got a stack of, if you want them.
I'll be getting them, so don't worry. And I got the relayer
stack.
And I got the relayer album for you as well. I'll drop it off for you when I come in and grab it. Okay.
And Jackson, one day I'll finally get your record to the
one day.
I promise you that.
Very good. Okay, so thanks guys for having me on.
Thanks
Mark. Jax. Thanks
I'll talk to
Jorgen.
you during the week, whenever.
And we'll talk again. Take care. Happy Easter to everybody.
Happy
Take care.
Easter, Mark.
Bye.
Happy Easter to your mom.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, George, I will just search it up.
Mark Anthony K, Projekt Gemineye, people.
Very busy guy. Seems like he's working on a lot.
He's always working on a lot. He's nonstop.
Not living in an ordinary world. Not so ordinary.
No, that's for sure. Maybe after his book In the Year. I gotta suggest that to Mark. Maybe after his In the Year 3073 series is done, he should do bookend it. His debut album was called An Ordinary World.
Yeah.
No, An Ordinary Day.
Ordinary Day.
First album was An Ordinary Day, so maybe his next album should be a completely unusual day.
An unordinary day.
An unordinary day.
We're talking about Weezer, and I actually interesting with Weezer because when they were at the peak back in '95 with Buddy Holly and all kind of stuff, I hated the Weezer. I thought they were so crappy. But actually, the two some of their latest albums are really, really good.
I love their covers album that they dropped. It was originally only supposed to be a digital. It was originally only the TL album was originally digital download only.
Yeah,
it was only supposed to be released on iTunes and online services because it was basically a covers album that was supposed to be a lead up to their Black album, which was coming out 1 month later. But the Teal album ended up selling more than the Black album. And they ended up pressing it on vinyl for record starting.
I like their cover of Take On Me better than the original by Aha. I think their cover is amazing. I think
you know what the odd one on that whole album is
what?
The TLC song.
I don't think I've listened to that one. I know that I didn't like the Paranoid. I think I think there was a Paranoid cover on there.
Yes, there's the record.
Yeah, but they made Take On Me. A Take On Me and Toto's Africa was,
which was I like the Africa. This was on they did it on a teal vinyl. But I really like this album. I really like this album. They released this 1 month before the Black album as just supposed to be a digital thing, and then it ended up being more popular. But what did they have on here? Africa. I liked Africa. I like their version of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I like Sweet Dreams. Take On Me. Happy Together. Paranoid, not so much. I really think they did a great job on Mr. Blue Sky by Yellow. Billie Jean, an interesting version of Billie Jean. Stand By Me. But the one that I thought was really bizarre was TLC. No Scrubs. No Scrubs. Yeah. A girl group, a girl soul hip hop.
I understand that this might be done with some kind of a smile and a little irony, but I'm not saying that they're particularly bad. I thought they didn't do anything, but I'm one of the few people that actually do like Gratitude. I actually do like that album. I can't help it. I know that it's among Weezer fans, it's seen as some of the worst albums.
My daughter's recently got into Weezer. I got her the Blue album for Christmas, which she loves.
Yeah, the Blue album is my favorite. Yeah, I've never really gotten into them, but the Teal album was when I kind of noticed them because of their cover of Take On Me, and I was a huge Weird Al fan at the time, and their cover of Africa, the music video, Weird Al was in. So that got me pretty into Weezer at some period in that year.
And yes, Liam, I am definitely going to jump on that anniversary of CSNY's Deja Vu. Absolutely. Even though I still have my original Canadian first Atlantic Records pressing on the Red Atlantic label, which I've had for 50 years. I am going to jump on that Deja Vu box set that's coming out for sure. The anniversary box, definitely one of the greatest albums ever made of all time, for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting, Christopher Mendicha. Did I just hear that Metallica did a better Take On Me? It would be interesting to hear Metallica do a house Take On Me.
You know what? Metallica cover I love and love, absolutely love. Bought the album just for that one song. I mean, I like Metallica, but I'm picky on my Metallica. There's a lot of Metallica albums that I don't like. I mean, I love the Black album. I love Master of Puppets. I love Hardwired to Self-Destruct. But there's a few that I don't like. But one that I ended up buying and I actually really got into was Garage. And the song that I like on Garage that just blows me away is their version of Thin Lizzy's Whiskey in the Jar. What a fantastic cover, if I've ever heard a cover. Iron Maiden's version of Thin Lizzy's Whiskey in the Jar. Spectacular.
Obviously, Metallica had covered Take On Me, according to Christopher. Interesting. But actually, Metallica is one of my absolute hate objects. I hate their depressive song. I hate... what's his name? James Hetfield's voice. I can't stand Metallica.
You're not a metal guy, though. We know that already. So
yeah, but especially not Metallica.
I'm a huge fan of Master of Puppets. I love Ride the Lightning.
I like Orion.
Yeah, you know what I don't like? I've never been a Saint Anger fan at all. I don't know if it's like Lars's drum sound on that really bothers me. I think that's probably the main reason. I just don't think it's that great of an album. But Ride the Lightning is probably my favorite if I had to choose.
Yeah, I have to give it a listen. I haven't heard that album, so I can't say, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I might try because a few people have recommended me that I buy that one.
Which one, Ride the Lightning?
Yeah, Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, I would. That's my favorite.
So I might give that. I might, if I see it somewhere at a decent price or whatever, one day I might jump on, take a chance on it, blind buy it.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I mean, it's quite similar in a way to Master of Puppets. So I mean, there are some differences, but if I had to compare it to anything, Master of Puppets would be a good thing to compare it to. So if you like that one, I would really recommend Ride the Lightning.
I like Master of Puppets a lot. It's a good album. And it's funny, like I'm like Jorgen. 20 years ago, I couldn't stand Metallica. I mean, I couldn't stand them. I bought the Black Album because it had a couple of radio-friendly singles on it, and I didn't mind it. But Metallica is one of the bands that it maybe took me 20 years to grow to appreciate. And now I really like Metallica. Even my Iron Maiden, I did not like Iron Maiden. I was not an Iron Maiden fan. I didn't discover Iron Maiden until literally the 2000s. I had Number of the Beast. I had Number of the Beast, and that was it for like 30 years. And then I just got into Iron Maiden with Brave New World. I got into Iron Maiden, and I really like Brave New World forward, even though their most successful period is Brave New World backwards to the 80s. I mean, I've grown to love all of Iron Maiden albums, now pretty much, other than the two that don't have Bruce Dickinson. I won't touch those with a 10.
Iron Maiden is also another band that I have a very hard time with because Bruce Dickinson sounds like he's been standing in a cold shower for 20 years.
You're not a metal guy, right, Jorgen? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not a metal guy.
Peace of Mind is in my opinion, the greatest Iron Maiden album. I mean, I'm a huge Killers fan. I love that record. But you can't really beat Peace of Mind, in my opinion. I like the early Iron Maiden. I like Seventh Son of a Seventh Son probably more. Okay.
But Brave New World, I absolutely fell in love with. I like The Final Frontier, and a lot of people don't like it. I love The Final Frontier, and I love The Book of Souls, their last studio album, which a lot of people bitch about. They all bitch about it, and I absolutely love The Book of Souls.
I don't like The Book of Souls. That's one, yeah. That's
Red and the Black. I love that song. Red and the Black.
There's actually one metal band that I think is my absolute biggest hate object, and that is AC/DC.
I'm not a big AC/DC fan. I have their new album, and it's not bad, Power Slave, but Power Up. But honestly, I can put Power Up on, and then the only other AC/DC album I have Thunderstruck, and I have Back in Black.
Yeah, I understand.
And you could literally interchange any of those three albums. They all pretty much they're like carbon copies of each other.
So yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just
that's one of the reasons why I don't like AC/DC, because they sound pretty much alike, all of them. But I also can't stand Brian Johnson's voice because he sounds like a cat with a crow with a flu.
Well, he had a lot of voice. Yeah.
I can't stand it.
So AC/DC, in my opinion, I get it. All the songs sound the same. I actually did a whole video when I talked about the greatest records of 2020.
It's fun rock and roll. AC/DC are fun rock and roll.
The thing is, they have a formula and they have stuck to it.
Yeah, they just stick by one. Yeah, if the wheel ain't broke, don't fix it. That's their philosophy.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you put Back in Black, Highway to Hell, and pretty much any other AC/DC album, you can pretty much interchange the lyrics and it'll be the same song. But they've stuck to a formula that has been successful for the past 50 years. So, I mean, how are you going to blame them? I mean, I know with Rush is my favorite band of all time, or Cheap Trick, and they've changed their sound according to decades and stuff like that. If you listen to 70s Rush, or you listen to 80s or 90s, or
Deep Purple have done the same. Yeah, they've evolved. That's how you stay alive. Golden Earring. I'm constantly evolved their sound all through the years.
I'm not saying that it's bad that you're keeping your sound. Definitely not. I mean, if you have a successful format, I understand why you do it. But the problem is that some actually normally you can hear at least that the melody is different, but they're doing different kind of melodies in the refrain or verse. But when it comes to AC/DC, I understand it's a matter of taste, but when it comes to AC/DC, I think I've heard the same melody for the past 20 years.
They have a limited number of chords they play.
No kidding.
Put it that way. A lot of their riffs are.
Yeah, Christopher, I checked out
riffs,
that video.
Or
it's
guitar
really good.
riffs are just slightly changed from one song to the next. They just rearrange those same notes a little bit. You know what I mean?
What is it? E, D, A, and then they'll throw in like a G power chord every once in a while.
Yeah, they just like keep sort of just mixing up the order of those notes, and it makes a new song.
That's.
But I don't mind AC/DC. I like AC/DC. I can take them in small doses.
Yeah, they definitely get old if you have too much of them. I can probably listen to an AC/DC album every 2 months. I think that's probably.
Well, that's more than I can. I'll throw AC/DC on like once a year.
Yeah, that's
a couple
kind of
times a year.
That's my capacity for AC/DC.
And what is most ironic is that they are produced by one of my favorite bands, Flash in the Pan, because Angus Young is the brother of one of the members in Flash in the Pan. And
There
Flash
you
in
go,
the
Star
Pan is
Trekker,
a
man
band I
after my
do
own
love.
heart, Thin Lizzy. A man after my own heart, Star Trekker, Thin Lizzy.
Yeah,
One of my top 5 bands of all time.
I love Flash in the Pan, but I hate AC/DC. What a problem I have.
Well, nothing wrong with Flash in the Pan. I like Flash in the Pan. I actually had one in my. I actually had Flash in the Pan in my album in my hands today at the record store and almost bought it. The black one that's got kind of the swipe through the cover. You know the one I'm talking about, Jorgen? I think it's the second
I
album.
think so. I have far from complete when it comes to Flash in the Pan, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, I almost bought an album by them today.
But
I had too much in my hands, and it was like, no, I'll put this one back.
Yeah.
Which will be in my video this week. My vlog record store tried to go to 6 places to buy records today. That's what my video this week will be once I edit all these little snippets I filmed all over the place.
I think me and you are on like the exact same schedule because Monday, which I have off of school, I'm doing that with my dad. I'm going to, I think, 7 record stores that we've planned out around a couple different states. So I bought moving pictures yesterday, and we're doing the same thing that I'm doing today.
Yeah, what's going on there, Jack? Are you like a mini me?
Yeah. we have the same schedule, I think.
Jack's mini me. And next week on Jack's show, he's doing a Ventures video.
That would be good. That would be pretty funny.
But yeah, that's my vlog video. My record shopping vlog is this week's video. I'm going to be out and about, going to different places with not much luck. You'll see what happens. Maybe you'll see the epic fail that was my record shopping today.
This might be a reality Back to the Future with Jack being you 20 years ago.
Yeah, he reminds me. Honestly, that's what I love about Jack the most, is he really does remind me of me at that age. I was just like Jack at his age. That thirst for knowledge of music and whatnot, that's me. That's me a long time ago. So yeah, that's my vlog. And then probably the week after that, I'll finally do the one that I've been thinking about, and that'll be my favorite new releases of 2021, January to March, first quarter. And my favorite reissues will be a separate video, probably the week after that, January to March.
April should be a great year for music.
Great year? When did April become a year? Wait, did I miss something?
April should be a great month.
Is this like daylight saving time now? They just put an entire year into 1 month.
Which grade did you say you went?
April should be
2022 in May.
COVID will be over by hopefully 22. So actually, that would be great if April was a year. But no, April should be a great month for music. There's Cheap Trick's new record coming out, which I'm very excited to call it.
Is it a new studio album?
Yeah, 20th studio album. And
how long since their last studio album?
The last album was 2017, but it was a Christmas album. That's when they released Christmas, and then
Yeah, I don't
it's
count
all
Christmas albums as studio albums.
Yeah.
They're-
yeah, it's not really. And then I believe it was either Bang Zoom Crazy Hello or We're All Right. I think We're All Right came out in 2017 as well. So they had the two records in 2017, but it has been a very long time since they have released a studio album. So I could tell it was kind of coming because they released The Summer Looks Good on You in 2019, I think. And then they started doing it more with the David Bowie cover they released last year and a couple other ones. And I could kind of tell it was coming, and I was so excited when they announced it. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Greta Van Fleet's new album. And
yeah, I have that pre-ordered. If you hear some of their singles, I don't know if you have the Heat Above and I don't remember what the other one was called, but they are getting more into the proggy side, which obviously is very enjoyable for me. So I'm very excited about that release. I'm looking forward to that release. I really like the Greta Van Fleet.
And they are, I feel like hearing the singles, they are shying away from that Led Zeppelin comparison that has basically been their claim to fame.
Well, yeah, if you, I don't know if you saw the video, but I can't remember which song it is. They dropped a video a few months ago for the first single from the album.
My Way Soon.
Is it My Way Soon? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then they dropped a few weeks ago a live version of it.
Yeah.
And I like the live version better than the studio.
Yeah, I actually like them live better. They can improvise and they're very good at it. I'm sure that the video that went on their YouTube page was not scripted at all. I'm pretty sure that was very straightforward, but them live and just raw footage, if like an audience member takes it, it's so good. So I was good.
Yeah, I saw Greta Van Fleet way back when the second album or first official album, whatever you want to call it, because the first album was an EP. So
yeah, Anthem of a Peaceful Army, I think.
Yeah, so when that came out, they played on the beaches down here in Toronto. They played a beach gig just on the beaches.
Yeah,
they played a beach gig, and I went to see it for free, and they were pretty decent.
Yeah, they sound good live. I was really disappointed that we didn't get tickets to see him in Baltimore, and that was going to be exciting. But
and what have I got coming? You were saying that April's going to be a good year. What have I got coming in April that
I wonder how long Jack was going to eat that up for saying that.
Oh, I'm never going to live it down. Trust me. This will be reoccurring.
So I've got pre-ordered, dropping on May 21st, and this was just announced. They are remastering and reissuing Rapture of the Deep by Deep Purple. Okay. So I'm getting that on Ear Music. But for new stuff for pre-orders, let me just check here. What's have I got? Well, I have two that are. I'm going to wonder what's going to happen here because I have 3 James Bond albums that were supposed to drop yesterday because Friday is new vinyl day. One of them is I think in the process of being processed, and it's a collection of all the themes right up to date. The other one is the soundtrack for No Time to Die, which didn't get released yesterday when it was supposed to come out again yesterday. So they still haven't moved the date for this soundtrack to the new release date of the movie. So I'm waiting to see because it's just saying currently unavailable. I don't know what's happening with that one. If they're planning to drop the soundtrack yesterday or not. And then another one's a Bond 25 Royal Philharmonic collection. So I have those pre-ordered that were supposed to drop yesterday. New order is May. I'm just seeing what other the pre-orders. Okay, I've got the Battle at Gardens Gate.
Yep.
Which is pre-ordered. I have that pre-ordered for April 16th. What else do I have pre-ordered for April? I don't remember. Or maybe let me check my cart here. Maybe I haven't finished processing the April ones yet. That I'm going to go for.
Star Trek or Greta Van
Live at Nebworth, 1990. That one I've got pre-ordered. April 30th. Yeah. Pink Floyd.
Okay. Yeah.
Pink Floyd live at Nebworth, 1990. I pre-ordered that. What else have I pre-ordered? live at Nebworth, another live at Nebworth, Leonard Skinner live at Nebworth.
They released those two, the first and second album live completely. It was Pronounced Leonard Skinner and then Second Helping. They released that, I believe, like last month or something.
Yeah, so on the 9th, this Friday, is live at Nebworth. Leonard Skinner live at Nebworth, 2 LP plus DVD.
Interesting.
I've got pre-ordered. Then I've got a little bit of pop music here by Zara Larsson. I like her first album, so I got this one, Poster Girl. Drops on April 16th. That's pre-ordered. Then I guess these one. My next pre-order is going to May with Frank Zappa. Then I've got Zappa. I got Zappa, the Go-Go's, St. Vincent, all pre-ordered for May.
Yeah.
And New Order, and the New Order.
To answer your question, Star Trekker, Greta Van Fleet is from Michigan. They're from a small town called Frankenmuth, I think. Something along those lines. But yeah, that's where they're from.
And Zara Larsson is from Sweden.
Yeah, and a lot of people bashed Greta Van Fleet, going, "Oh, they're trying to sound like Led Zeppelin, blah 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 blah. Oh, they're like a Led Zeppelin copy band, blah 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 blah." And it's like, honestly, even if they do sound like Zeppelin have been gone for freaking 30 years. It's about
but the same,
40 years. Zeppelin have been gone for 40 years. Who says another band can't come up that sound like Zeppelin?
The same people.
Oh, sorry about my language. Oh, I got kids here.
The same people that are complaining about Greta Van Fleet sounding too similar to Zeppelin are also complaining that rock is dead and that there's no rock bands creating new music. So make up your mind. It's what do you want? Do you want a band that
honestly, I've never heard Greta Van Fleet do a cover of any Led Zeppelin song. So come on, people.
Yeah, but
and come on, Great White.
I hate to be one of those negative guys. I never said that rock is dead, but I think I can stand. I listen to his voice, and he sounds like he's eaten helium for the past 20 years.
I love your statements about people singing. It's so funny with like the Crow having the flu or Josh having helium.
Yeah,
so,
Jorgen,
I can't help it. I
doing that.
Analogy for every singer out there.
So the thing about Greta Van Fleet is people say they sound too similar to Led Zeppelin, but if you think about it, how many influencers did Led Zeppelin take off of with blues bands, early blues bands, and they draw so much inspiration from that. It's the same thing that's happened to Greta Van Fleet. So you're never going to say something about Led Zeppelin and how they copied off of other people. And I wouldn't even consider it copying. I would say inspiration. But you're going to say that Greta Van Fleet's drawing too much inspiration from Led Zeppelin. I don't think it's a fair thing to say.
No, especially when you have a band like Great White from the hair metal band Great White from the 80s and early 90s, who made multiple Led Zeppelin covers albums, who did always a big set of Led Zeppelin songs in their live show, and they never got slammed for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It I don't
think it's fair. I don't think
and
it's
rock
fair.
is definitely not dead. My favorite album so far for 2021 is Pretty Reckless. The new Pretty Reckless album is the best rock album I've heard in years. What a fantastic album. Absolutely
I'm
fantastic.
not going to say that rock is dead.
Great writing, great vocals, great guitar work, great everything. 10 out of 10. My first 10 out of 10 I've given any album probably in the last couple of years.
I'm not going to say that rock is dead because obviously they're still making rock albums. They're obviously still popular. But the problem is that there was a time when rock was a natural part of the hit charts, where actually a rock
they're top 30.
But a rock song could be a number one on the hit charts.
Yeah, unfortunately,
long gone.
Rock songs on the top 10 is few and far between. You'll ever see a rock song.
When you're talking about the sales charts, rock might be at least in a coma, but when it comes to making rock, they're still making rock, and music today is much more wider than it ever has been when it comes to getting a hold of new music.
Rock, I don't want to say rock is dead, but radio isn't playing it. There's great
exactly.
on Bandcamp, and if you get into, like,
unfortunately, all
Blackmore-
the streaming services and whatnot, they're pushing the Dua Lipas, the Ariana Grandes,
Yeah,
the hip hop artists, the Euro pop artists. That's what's getting pushed heavily in all these streaming services.
Anthony, I don't know if you've heard these guys. I would really recommend them. They're called Cheetos Magazine, and it's kind of a funny name, but they have a Cheetos Magazine.
Cheetos. DM me that on Instagram so I don't forget it.
I will.
I'll look them up.
It's so good. They have an album out called Amazing Ghosts, I think you pronounce it, and it's like if Frank Zappa fronted Genesis. It's crazy. It's the most obscure thing. It's like a soundtrack for like Zelda or something, but they're just so tight and locked together. It's so great, and I would really recommend them.
I like the soundtrack for Zelda. Wait a minute, I like the soundtrack for Zelda. There you go.
It's very synth heavy, but
I actually have Zelda. I actually have a Zelda soundtrack on vinyl.
I actually like a lot of that, like I don't know how do we like synth heavy, like
with pleasure. Actually, I think what's interesting was that we had the 90s 2 decades ago. The 90s, when it comes to the hit charts, was one of the most varied decades that ever been.
I know, it was all over the place. That's why I don't really like much from the 90s.
You can listen to
it was really scattered. It was really a scattered decade. Nobody knew where the hell they were going.
You can listen to dance music. You can listen to rap. You can listen to rock. You can listen to. There were heavy metal on the charts.
There was grunge on it. Alternative.
The alternative. There were singer songwriters. There were grunge. There were soul. There were. You can listen to anything. And look at the
90s was
today.
all over the place.
And look at the chart today. What happened? They're not variation.
True enough. I never was one to go by the charts anyhow. So.
No, not me either. But it actually was one way for people to get a hold. The problem is with the charts, at least it was a way for people to get to know what actually was out there. For those who didn't actually bother to look very deep in what was the normal radio listening guy. They listened to what was coming out of the charts, and that was what actually what they thought of the music.
I probably haven't listened to a radio station in at least 20 or more years.
No, that was
no need to.
Because when I grew up, I was a radio nerd. I listened to Swedish radio every time. I recorded from radio, and today I listen to one show a week.
If anybody wants to come up, I'll repost that link. I know I haven't posted it in a while. Let me just put it out there again. Anybody wants to join in, I will just shove it up again.
Chris,
I forget to do that.
Christopher wants to know more about what you mentioned, Zappa fronting Genesis.
So I think that's a good comparison to Cheetos Magazine. It's like really strange vocals from the singer. It's like there's like noises half the time. So I guess that's kind of what's giving me a Zappa feel, but it's very like late Genesis like Phil Collins later Genesis. So yeah, it's a very strange combination. I'll agree with you with that. But once you listen to them, I think you'll agree with me that it's.
I think Christopher wants to know which band you were talking about.
What do you mean? The Cheetos Magazine, the band that So that was the band. I don't know if I can.
What era are they from? Are they a new band?
Yes, they are. The album was just released in 2019, I think.
And that's their debut album?
No. So they had one other album before that, and they're from Barcelona. So that's pretty cool.
Barcelona. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Spain.
Yeah, so they've got some interesting stuff. I'll type the name of the band.
I am here to defend Greta Van Fleet.
You don't have to defend.
Thank you.
I know. I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying. And the 90s was not the last time there was great rock and roll music. There is some great rock and roll music.
No, there's great music. It just doesn't get.
No, because the radio is oversaturated with pop music.
I wasn't saying that
there's great rock music, but it doesn't get its day in court.
Yeah, I didn't complain that it wasn't great rock music. I complained that it wasn't variation on the charts and the radio.
Well, if you look at the charts on Billboard, it's mostly hip hop and pop music that are dominating the charts. You see some rock artists that are on the charts, but just look at the Billboard charts. It's
Well, you look at the Grammys this year. This is when you know that people are completely clueless to genres of music.
of course.
The Grammys are famous for not getting things right in the first place, but this year their rock act, which I would not put as their hard rock act, because as you know, the Grammys, they always have a hip hop performance,
Yeah.
a soul performance, an R&B performance, a pop performance, a rock they have performances from all the genres, right? This year's hard rock performance was Haim.
Yeah.
That's not hard rock. I listen to Haim. They're indie.
That's indie rock. That's
How
indie
is
rock. It's
Haim?
not even
How
close
is
to rock?
No. How is Haim hard rock? I've been a fan
That
of
was their
Haim.
hard rock performance this year on the Grammys. I was like, are you kidding me?
I've been,
Are
you
you
know,
kidding me
Haim.
right now?
I've been listening to Haim for years, and they
I
are
love
definitely
Haim,
pop
I
rock.
love Haim, but I don't consider them rock. They're
How are
indie.
they-
They're indie pop.
No, how are they
Or-
hard rock?
I wouldn't even consider them indie rock. I would consider them
No,
like,
they're more like pop rock. They're more like kind of like
or
popish
whatever.
rock.
But look, I mean, look at the Grammys in 1986 when Jethro Tull won Metal Album of the Year.
yeah.
Carol Tull's not metal.
Like,
It's so funny.
come on, people. Jethro
No,
Tull.
the Grammys have been a joke for years. The Grammys don't even know how to, you know, categorize music in the right genre. And then I think who won for Song of the Year? Her. Never heard of her, but now I want to listen to her.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah, her.
She won Song
Her.
of the Year.
Her.
And who won Album of the Year? I forgot. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, last year,
Wasn't it
Billie
Megan? Is it Megan Thee Stallion or somebody? Wasn't it one of those ones?
I don't know. Megan Thee Stallion. The only thing I
Dua
know
Lipa
of her is WAP.
won. Dua Lipa won Pop Album of the Year. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, well, I was happy that Harry won.
Yeah, I was happy for that. That was the only thing I wanted to see Dua Lipa win one of them.
I wanted to see
She
Harry.
won Pop Album of the Year. Good for her.
Yeah, she deserved it.
Yeah,
She deserved
absolutely.
it for sure.
Absolutely. I
But
know Jack would say differently. I saw Jack's video about Dua Lipa.
I put it in the list, Anthony. I put it in the list. Or no, I didn't.
you gotta listen to her album. It's a good pop album. I don't say
That's
that.
okay. Jax is rocking and rolling. That's okay.
I'm going to actually say that Dua Lipa did 2 great songs last year, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I love that album. 10 out of 10 for me for pop album. I still play it to death. It's like on heavy rotation all the time. Never get tired of it.
Yeah, the Grammys have gone down the hill for many years. They're not even a serious.
Yeah, I always look at like the American Music Awards or the MTV Music Awards as being a more realistic portrayal of music than the Grammys. The Grammys are like the Academy Awards. They're voted on by a bunch of old codgers in a back room somewhere. The American Music Awards are voted by the public. MTV Music Awards are voted by the public. That's who matter. That's who needs to be, you know, not these old freaking geezers in wheelchairs in a back room that think they're experts on music and they look for some deep meaning in everything that's produced in order to give it a Grammy.
Now I remember what won Album of the Year. It was Taylor Swift. She won Album of the Year this year.
Yeah,
that.
Folklore. That's right.
Folklore.
But you see, and that album was really a folk album. So it wasn't like her previous. Yeah,
it's a good album.
Yeah, the previous year it was Lover, which was a very pop album. This year it was like a folk. It was like a singer-songwriter folk album. So why is that winning the album of the year when it should have been winning the singer-songwriter or folk album of the year?
But actually, one thing that has made the Grammys less important is that there was a time when Grammys only was one of the few things that the awards that was existing. Today's each and every media, newspaper, every you have Nickelodeon awards, you have that award, you have that award, you have that MTV awards, you have tons of awards that's going to given out, and actually no one gives a damn right now because so that is watering out the Grammys because there are way too many other awards, and many of them also, unlike the Grammys, are being voted by the fans.
Yeah, I like when it's voted by the fans because you get a true representation of what is.
Yeah, it's like like I said, Grammys to me are like the Academy Awards. You know, like
Oh, the
Most of the
Academy
time,
Awards.
all the stuff that wins Academy Awards, I would never want to watch.
Yeah, like that one year where they got it.
I find Academy Award winning movies 90% of the time are boring as.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. Give me my action. Give me my action. My sci-fi. My big blockbusters. Give me stuff. Give me that stuff that is mindless. That you don't got to think about. That you don't got to analyze. That you just go to the movie theater. Let me see King Kong beat up Godzilla. That's what I want to see. I just want to have fun when I go to the movies. I don't want to look for some deep meaning in the movie. And
yeah, a lot of these movies have deep meaning that win the picture of the year.
Give me Clint Eastwood and his metal freaking thing under his serape shooting desperados dead in the street. I don't need brilliant freaking screenwriting.
The Grammys more like is like the music industry making PR for the artists that they think we should listen to for the past couple of months. Actually, and it's not decided after what we want to listen to; it's what they think we want to listen to.
Yeah, and a lot of great artists get snubbed year after year after year by the Grammy Association.
You remember that one year?
They don't fit that mold or whatever.
You remember the one year when Arcade Fire won, and people were like, "Who the heck is Arcade Fire?" And they won Album of the Year.
Well, you look at last year when Billie Eilish scooped like 7 awards, and denied so many other great artists from getting awards.
I mean,
ridiculous. And poor Ariana Grande, who's really a great singer, has been snubbed so many times for awards. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, her brother's
and Billie Eilish, she's okay, but come on, 7 Grammys, like come on. First of all, I totally give Billie Eilish's success to Phineas. Without Phineas, Billie Eilish would be nothing.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Phineas is talented on his own right. I've listened to.
But her music is a little bit on the depressing side. So
it
just blows my mind that she got like 7
Yeah,
Grammys.
but 7 Grammys. I didn't think her album was that great that it deserved 7.
No. Like it should have won. It should have won in its one category, sort of thing. But she scooped up so many other artists.
I mean, pop album. Yes, it's a great pop album.
And she said it. She said it. Well, last year when she got the Grammy, she looked at Ariana Grande in the audience, right to her face, and says, "This should be your award. I do not feel right taking this award. This should have been your award, Ariana." Billie Eilish said that. And then what happened this year when she got the Grammy again? Whoever she looked at, I can't remember who it was. She goes, "This should be your award." 2 years in a row she got an award, and she looked at the person that she thought should get the award. And she was even saying this year, she's like, "Can I give this girl my award? I can't remember who it was. She's like, "Can I give her my award?"
Was it Dua Lipa or something?
No, it wasn't Dua Lipa. It was somebody else.
It was. So the thing about Billie Eilish is I'm not a fan of her studio recordings, but if you listen to stuff like her live album Third Man or something along those lines, she's very talented with Phineas, and I don't think her studio work even comes up to par with some of that stuff. Her live recordings with her and Phineas playing like an acoustic guitar or piano is just great. So
she needs Phineas. Phineas is the magic to her.
She would be nothing without Phineas.
Her brother is what really got
Hold
her.
on, guys.
I look at them as a duo, not as Billie Eilish on her own. To me, they're like a duo.
I agree with that.
I know hardly anything of Billie Eilish. So.
My daughter's got both her albums. I mean, I really do love her. I love her version of the new Bond theme. I think it's 100 times better than what Sam Smith did in the last Bond film. So it shows that she can sing. It's the first song I felt that she can sing in. Like she actually shows she's got a powerful voice. It's the first time I've heard a powerful song out of her. So we'll see what comes in the future. But
I still haven't heard the Bond song yet.
No Time to Die? It was a big single last year.
I'll have to
look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Look up the music video on YouTube.
Yeah, you totally have to listen to it. It's a good cover.
I'm just hoping that thing comes in the theater soon because I'm going to see the new Bond.
Well, it's not till the fall, so
it's going to be a while before this pandemic's over.
It's been pushed to whatever, September, October, whatever it is.
And I hope they release in the summer in August the Get Back movie because I really want to see that big time.
I don't think it's finished yet.
Oh no!
No,
not.
it's still in production.
Yeah,
You know
it's
Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson he's got 75 hours of
Wow.
footage to go
That's a
through.
lot of footage to go through, man.
75 hours to pick a 3-hour film out of.
Yeah, it's not. It's not going to be ready by.
No, it's not.
Anything Peter Jackson does takes years.
It does take years. He did the Lord of the Rings.
Now,
movie.
granted, the film industry was not shut down in New Zealand like it was here last year.
but
And my sister lives in New Zealand, and they are COVID free.
Yes.
Well,
Not one case there.
Yep.
but it's not going to
They
be.
closed their borders. They're an island. They closed their borders to the outside world, and everything's thriving there. It's just another day.
It's not just going to be in New Zealand, though. I mean, that's where Peter Jackson is, and that's where most of the work is going to be done. But it's not. All of the work isn't just going to be in New Zealand.
No, but he's just going to sit on his little freaking palace there in New Zealand and edit all these real tape. Like, there's no production that really has to be done for this movie. It's all on reels of tape, reels of film.
Yeah.
He has to just sit and watch.
I hate to leave now when James has gotten up here, but the clock here is past midnight, so I'm going to go to bed now. So
Bye, Jorgen.
Nice
All
to
right,
see
see
you,
you later, Jorgen. Always nice to see you.
Good to see you, Jorgen. I'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Take care, my friend.
Bye.
Jorgen S. people, all the way over on the other side of the world.
Jack, I love that Hofner bass. That's a Hofner bass on your wall, isn't it?
It's a Epiphone viola, so it's quite similar. The shape is obviously quite similar. Whatever way I'm pointing there.
It almost looks like Paul McCartney's Hofner bass to me.
Yeah, it's made to replicate that quite a bit. It sounds quite good too. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Epiphone instruments. I've never been a huge fan of their stuff, except they're like 335s or something. One of their hollow body models I kind of like, but a lot of their like Les Pauls or SGs I've never been a huge fan of. But I like that bass a lot. Anthony, I wanted to tell you about this because I think
hold on a sec, Jack. I'm just going to respond to a couple of comments in the peanut gallery. Christopher, I agree totally there. The music awards are all about money. Radio is about money. They choose what we are supposed to listen to.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why I haven't listened to radio in like 20 some odd years.
I don't listen to radio much anymore. I mean, I have a radio player, but I don't turn on the radio.
Well, I don't listen to radio per se.
Hey,
I
Eddie
listen
Perez.
to Sirius XM.
I don't listen to
Come up,
Sirius.
Eddie, if you'd like. So you were saying, Jack. Now you were saying, Jack.
Yeah, so I bought this. I don't even know when. Probably like a month ago now. I love Spring by John Coltrane. We've all seen it. But this is the Target exclusive, and it comes on this like swirl vinyl. Pretty cool. But when I got it,
We don't have Target here anymore.
yeah, this is ridiculous. So this is the sleeve it came in.
Yeah, the good old shit sleeve. I mean, excuse me, the shite sleeve. I remember to keep it PG here. I got Jack here, but when somebody shows me those sleeves, I go off the rails.
This might even be worse. I received it like this. So I guess while in shipping, the record busted through the.
That happens all the time.
That's not good.
So after it did that, it then left a
It
crease.
it continued to go through the cover as well.
Yep, the jacket is completely.
How much? Let's see that. Go back again.
So this is.
Let's see the end of that. How much did it go through the top?
You see that nasty little. Thing
Oh
there?
my God, that's not good.
And then
Where did you buy that from?
Target, straight off the website.
I'd be sending it back.
Yeah, if they have more copies of.
But for me, I don't play the cover. I'm not insane about.
But you're paying money
that
for something that's new and getting it in what's used condition.
That's
That's not a good thing.
Like you didn't see my Neil Young box set that I got last month. The rust, way down in the rust bucket box set. The first one that Amazon sent me. When I first opened it, it had like a wow in the top, like a little bend in the top, and I was like, okay, it's just a bend. When I open it, I can probably push it out. Then I looked at the bottom corner. It was completely destroyed, destroyed. right? So
That's
yeah, we're sending it back.
not really the problem here for me. The problem is this warp.
Well,
And
send it back, man.
You can see that though. That is quite visible.
Are they like Amazon? Do they give you like a return label and blah blah blah? Is it easy to do?
I can return it. It's just like you can definitely see that.
I would return it. If it's got a warp, I'd return it. No question.
If it's got a warp and it's got a damaged cover, I'd return it.
You can't even I tried playing it. You can't even play
a little ding on a cover doesn't bother me, but if it's got warp, I'd return it.
I don't mind the odd crease in the cover. I can even take a little bit of. I've got many records from Amazon with that little tiny seam split in the top where the record.
That always happens. Always.
You know, it happens a lot. I don't make a big deal out of that. If the rest of it is fine, I can put up with a little tiny seam split at the top. That just happens in shippings nowadays.
I can't even play side B because my needle won't fit on it. It just jumps.
And unfortunately, not a lot of record companies do what. One thing I like about Nuclear Blast Records, who release a lot of artists. Nuclear Blast press a lot of artists. The one I showed earlier was this Epica, the brand new Epic album. And the one thing I like about Nuclear Blast, besides doing good pressings, is they are smart with how they package their records. Nuclear Blast always takes the records and puts them in between the gatefold. So when you open the shrink, when you buy any Nuclear Blast artist, and there's tons of artists on Nuclear Blast. When you open the shrink, the two records are sitting inside the gatewall. They haven't been put inside the record jacket yet, so that in shipping they will not come through, right? Nuclear Blast just puts the records inside like that, which I think more records companies should follow Nuclear Blast example, because then you won't have seam splits if you send the records. Great idea. Hats off to Nuclear Blast for always doing that.
Yeah. I mean,
well, guys, I'm going to show you something. I got to go downstairs and get it. It's something I got from Amazon 2 years ago for Christmas. And how they ship this, it's a TV series, box set, complete series. I'm going to show you what happened to the box. But the discs are okay, but hold on, I'm going to show you. I got to get it. Oh, I might go bring this one too.
What happened to Lisa? We lost Lisa. Lisa.
No. I had something I had to do real quick.
Okay.
I hate to leave at this level of excitement, but I'm getting called for dinner right now. So thanks for
getting close. Yeah, we're where are we at? 6:20 now. I've been on for 2 hours. I'll stay on probably till a little bit longer, probably half an hour or so. We'll stay on.
All right, I'll continue to watch the show through the peanut gallery. But thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Lisa.
Always nice to see you.
Mark, okay, thank you.
Don't forget, 2 weeks from now, you can come back.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
DM me that band name. Jack, DM me that band name on Instagram so I can look them up.
I already forgot their name.
The Cheetos, Cheetos corn chips. Whatever they were called. The Frito-Lays, the Cheetos.
They probably got their name from the
Cheeto nacho cheese guys, whatever they are. Send me that text there, Jax.
Seeing as they have this one album on Amazon, they do. I do want to get this album. I'm going to add it to my cart. Because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to.
So how's Groovy Lisa doing? What's new, Ruthie? What's new with you, Groovy Lisa?
I want to get the Strokes album, so I'm putting that in my cart. New Strokes album that came out last year. I'm a little late to buying it, but
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I'm
still trying to find a copy of Harry Styles.
Harry Styles Fine Line?
Yeah, it's like sold out everywhere.
Oh, well, I got it at my local Target.
I know. I saw that you showing that Target. It's like, pissed me off. We don't have Target up here.
Yeah, they don't have it in Canada.
I'm not gonna ship it from the US.
Does your daughter want it? Is that why you're getting it?
Yeah, she wants it. Yeah, she wants it.
Yeah, you could try. No, you don't have it on Amazon Canada?
No, it's all sold out.
Huh, interesting.
It's been sold out for months and months and months.
They got plenty of copies.
Doesn't look like it's being restocked or anything either.
We had like 5 copies at Target. I could have swung you one over, but
yeah, if I'd have known, I would have said, yeah, grab me one and all.
Yeah, I didn't think at the time, because when I saw it, I was like, wow, I've been trying to find that album, and it was just there at my Target. Now it's gone.
Okay, I'm back. You might want to make me big for this.
What is it?
I got to remember how to make people big. I'm
Oh,
not good at
Party
this.
805. I've never seen.
Layout. What is it? Is it fly layout? What? I can't
Solo
remember.
layout.
Where do I
layout.
find that? Where do I find it on though?
You
there we
right
go.
click on him and
I got
solo
it. I got
layout.
it.
I've watched that show
Okay.
a few
Now
times.
see when they ship this, they messed up the box. And even when you take the lid off, it's kind of messed at the bottom. But the discs are fine, and this is the complete series of Party of Five, one of my favorite shows that I used to watch. And see, they messed up the packaging. And I don't know how they do that. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
They can
Why didn't you send it back as soon as you opened it?
Well, because they say everybody that's got it has the packaging was like that, but I kept it anyway because the discs were in good shape. So
Yeah. I'm a real stickler about that sort of thing. I have no qualms sending things back. I go to a restaurant, I don't like the way it tastes, I send it back. I don't care if they think I'm an asshole. I'm paying for.
I mean, for that, yes, I can understand that part, but if the discs are in good shape, I mean, I didn't care.
Yeah, well, it's like that Neil Young box set. I was like, I'm not taking this. It's got a big bash in the corner. No way in hell am I going to take this.
But how do you know if they send you another one, it's not going to be messed up too,
No, I got the next one. The next one they sent me the next day. I got it in one day. It was in perfect shape, over and done with. But yeah, how do they not notice that, when they're shipped? Because it's not like the Amazon box was damaged. So it didn't happen on its way to me. It happened before they put it in the box. So how does Joe Blow that put my Neil Young record in the box not notice the big wow in the top and the completely destroyed corner? How does he not notice that but when he's putting it in the box? Because that obviously happened at the warehouse level before it was ever packaged and sent to me.
Yeah, exactly. That happens.
I can understand it getting damaged in transit. You see the mailer when it comes is damaged. The box was in perfect condition, so it was destroyed before it even went in the box.
But I don't know how they destroyed my box. How did they destroy my box like that? That's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't buy a lot of movie TV shows anymore.
But Amazon was the only place I could get that.
Amazon level,
well, yeah.
That's where I'm going to bitch. If it's happening at the Amazon level, the warehouse level, I'm going to bitch and moan to Amazon about it. I can understand things happening in shipping. Once it leaves their facility and passes into whatever postal service or courier or whoever's sending it, delivering it, that I can understand. But when it's happening in the warehouse level, I have zero tolerance for a warehouse level damage.
And it was a Christmas gift, so I couldn't really send it back.
Yeah, you don't send back Christmas gifts.
No, but the discs were in good shape, so.
As long as the DVDs play and they're fine.
Yeah, I have to go through each one because to make sure all 6 seasons were there and everything was okay with that part. As long as that part was okay, I was okay with it. So
yeah,
it didn't matter.
I used to buy DVDs until I got Netflix, and then I kind of just stopped.
Yeah, I don't worry so much about DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff because they're not that expensive, and a lot of DVD cases, the little things that hold the disc are broken when you get it. And that's not a big deal for me. But when you're buying vinyl that averages here in Canada, $30 to $50. When you're paying that sort of money for something, you want it pristine. And you shouldn't accept getting it in any sort of damaged condition when you're spending that sort of money. Vinyl is not a cheap. New vinyl is not cheap. So,
no, it's definitely not. The Strokes album.
You need to be given something that is in.
That's why I think if you're going to buy vinyl, go to the store where you know it's going to be in good shape.
Yeah, but that's the thing, in the last.
Yeah, but I haven't
been. Stores don't stop. The stores can't beat Amazon for selection and price. For me,
true.
Canada, the stores just cannot beat them.
But that's where I got my 50th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper. Was at Sunrise.
I want my final dollar to go as far as possible, so I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's Walmart. I don't care where it's going to get spent. I don't care. I try to support mom and pop stores. Blah blah blah. But simple fact is matter. I got limited funds. So I want my vinyl dollar to go as far as possible.
Yeah, whatever has
Amazon, nobody can beat Amazon 80% of the time.
Amazon's got good deals. I mean, $21 for the Strokes album on Amazon, and it's like $30 at my local record store. It's pretty obvious I'm going to go with Amazon. I'm not saying.
Well, that's where I found the Clint Eastwood movie that my mom's getting me for my birthday on Blu-ray, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
That's cool. But
Yeah.
for me,
vinyl and kicks, I agree. Like getting the little tiny seam split in the top of your records is pretty normal. I'm not going to make an issue about that. But anything beyond that, I will make a big issue about.
I don't know. I don't have the Sabbath box set, so I don't know the
Yeah,
issue.
I've heard that. Yeah, it's like Frank showed on his video last night, channel 33 RPM. She got the Super Deluxe Sabbath box set, and it's scuffed to living crap. Like he showed the discs. Like I don't even know how that even gets in how they even packaged that. And he ordered 2 of them. He got one from Amazon, complained, said, listen, they're all scratched to crap. And he had that problem. Frank, I swear, channel 33 RPM gets every crappy record ever sent out. Because I never get, I honestly have never, I've sent records back to Amazon for sending me the wrong album, sending me a damaged album, like, damaged. Sending me a wrong album, sending me a damaged album. I've sent those back to Amazon, but I've never had one that I opened and it was scuffed. I've never seen that on anything I've ever ordered. I've never had scuffed records like I see other people having. And channel 33 RPM, he seems to get a lot of them. They just like, oh, this one's scuffed. Let's send it to Frank. But
Yeah,
he got the Super Deluxe box set, and he showed the pictures on that. It's atrocious. It really is atrocious. So he sent them back.
Avoid it.
So he put it aside, ordered. They said, okay, we'll send you another one. They sent him the other one. He opened it, and they were like all damaged to crap too.
Yeah,
that's at the factory level. That's shitty quality control. So what he ended up doing was he Frankensteined the 2 albums. He took the best records out of each of the 2 boxes to make himself one half decent album. Because Amazon told him, and I'm surprised because I've never been told this by Amazon. Amazon refused to send him a 3rd copy. They said, no, we will not send you a 3rd copy. You can have your money back or keep one of the ones you've got. Because he had to give one. He obviously had to return one of the 2 that was sent to him. He got the first one, complained. They sent him another one, complained again. They said, well, either keep one of them or get your money back, but we're not going to send you a 3rd replacement. Which surprised me that Amazon said that, because I've never run into that before, that they would refuse to send a 3rd replacement. Because you have to send it back to them, or they'll bill you for it. If you keep it, they'll bill you for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not gonna get that box set. If I hearing the bad reviews from Frank, I think I'll just spring for like a single album.
And he had the same luck with the Ozzy Osbourne album last year. He had multiple copies of the Ozzy Osbourne album that had the same problem, pressed by the same pressing company and whatnot. It's Ozzy, it's Black Sabbath, same label.
Yeah.
And yet I have 2 different pressings of that Ozzy album from last year. Both of them are, I have the picture disc and the silver vinyl edition. Both of them are pristine. They had no problems at all. But tons of people complained about that Ozzy album. All sorts of people complained about it. I never had any problem with mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Luck of the draw, I guess. Luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Well, this morning on Rachel's stream, 2 things happened. First, she made me have a confession. She said, now, James, be honest with me. I know you love all of us equally, but is Anthony your favorite YouTuber now? Because you and Anthony seem to be getting very close. And I said, she said, I won't be mad. I said, yes, he is.
I don't know what I deserve to get that title for.
I know
you like it along well. We like a lot of the same stuff with movies, music, and everything.
It's kind of funny when people say that to me. I'm like, thanks. And then I kind of like don't know how to react after that. Like one time some guy ran into me at a record store and said, you're my favorite channel. And I was like, thanks. And I'm trying to not be awkward. And yeah, so.
But to be honest, I love everybody. You're all my favorites.
It's on.
But I have a connection with Anthony for some reason. And it's an honor for me to be here on camera with you.
Oh, well, that's not
on your own channel, not just on Rachel's.
I'm just Joe Blow. I'm just an average.
Yeah, we're just.
I don't know. You're just something to me. I don't know.
Must be the Canadian,
Yeah, I mean we're both Canadian and
Canadian.
We get along well, so that's why I'm honored to be here, and I'm comfortable with you guys.
You're always welcome here. You know that.
I know.
My stream. Sorry, people. There's no drama on my stream. No, we just talk about music and stuff. That's it. It might be boring for some of you. if you're looking for some sort of deep entertainment.
I know.
That's what Rachel's specialty is. I love Rachel. Her stream, you get the whole. It's like watching, it's a free for all. Here, it may be a little boring because we get nerdy and talk about music and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, and the other thing this morning, Stunty was on camera and he was showing us a record. The whole sleeve was warped, and the record itself.
Who was showing that?
Stunty.
Oh yeah. He was showing something I think the other day about because he was trying to say that leaving the shrink on is going to warp your records, and his example is he had a record that had the shrink had been left on, and the shrink I guess had shrunk and had warped the record and warped the cover and this and that. And
that's why some people shouldn't do that.
1 in a million that could happen, but honestly, I've been buying records for 50 years, people. I've been buying records for 50 years. Unless it's a gatefold, I leave the shrink on. If it's a single LP, I've always left my shrink on for 50 years, and I've never had in 50 years one single record be warped or the cover be warped by my shrink. I think climates can probably have something to do with it. Whatever your climate you live in is, I think here in Canada we have medium humidity, medium temperatures. I suppose if other countries' climates could have an effect on shrink, that's a possibility, I suppose. But in 50 years of buying records, I've never had one cover ruined by shrink wrap or record ruined by shrink wrap. So I'll leave the shrink on as long as humanly possible, except, like I said, gatefolds and whatnot, because you need to take the shrink off. It's an extra layer of protection against that ring wear and all that other jazz. But I still have the shrink. I have the shrink on, and I still use a sleeve over that too, because I try to keep the hype sticker and everything.
Well, Joe Mayo did a video of that a couple of years ago. Leave the shrink on or take it off. Well,
I'm just saying, from my experience, 50 years buying records, I've never had one record damaged because I left the shrink on. So, but like I said, there are obviously a lot of variables in there. How you store your records. How you store your records, what the environment is, the humidity, the heat, where you live in the world, what external forces are on that record, what environmentally, obviously have a lot to do with vinyl. Dry desert environments that have very, very low water amount in the air can actually make your vinyl brittle. It can suck the moisture out of your vinyl. So there's a lot of factors in there, but I'm just saying here in Canada, in our climate, leave your shrink on, people. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know about out here in California.
If you want to open the gatefold, yeah, you got to take it off, but on a single, just a slit cover, I just take my thumbnail, slit that shrink, and take the record out.
Yep. So I have a confession.
I probably have one here that's a perfect example of that. There you go, Weezer. There you go. Look at that. It's in a Vinyl Storage Solutions protective cover. But look, there's the original shrink on there. There's the original shrink. It's on there. But I keep it on there because it's got the record store day sticker. And you can't peel these record store day stickers. So I'm going to keep the shrink on. Why not?
I'm spending my stimulus at Amoeba. That's my confession. When I go to Amoeba in 2 weeks, I am going to buy some new records and old because I saw a roll. And someone told me you're going to be waiting forever at that store. I go, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, I did a vlog today, like I was saying earlier on the stream, that I have to edit all up, and that'll go up probably on Monday.
Yeah, vlogs
I tried to go record shopping at 6 different stores today. And that's going to be my video for this week. It's going to be a vlog traveling to different stores and the complete disaster that it was.
Yeah, I usually have a few record stores that I like to frequent. And I tried going to 4 different Walmarts, another record chain that's Canadian record chain, Sunrise Records. And then my local mom and pop store. That's what my video log is going to be about this week. I'm going to show what I bought, where, and the total disaster known as Walmart.
Ooh, that sounds good. I'm going to watch that.
At least you guys have a record store.
It's going to be a totally remote video this week. Anthony won't be sitting in front of his wall of media. It's all filmed little bits and pieces all day long. Now I got to put all those bits and pieces of my adventure together and make a vlog. That's
Yeah.
this week's video.
I don't do vlogs too much, but I like to do them from time to time.
I thought
They
I'd
take
do
a lot
something.
of editing.
It was just like I have a couple videos I've been wanting to make, which I'm gonna probably will come the week after and the week after that. But I was just feeling kind of depressed today and anxious, and I've been stuck in the house too much with this last lockdown. And then I think it hit me because we were in lockdown for close to 4 months, from November 22nd to March 22nd. So 4 months we've been stuck in lockdown. And in March 22nd, they lifted one level of lockdown. Not completely open, but lifted it so you could start going into stores again and blah, 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 blah. And they lifted that on the 22nd of March. And then last night at midnight, put us back in lockdown again. We were out of lockdown for what? Barely just over 2 weeks.
So you guys have a lot of cases of COVID in your...
We got 2,500 a day now.
Wow. Well, we finally have gotten our cases in California down to like 87 people died, which is the lowest we've ever had. I think it was 87, but
so when that happened, when they put us back in lockdown, it was like, oh God. I woke up today and I was just totally depressed. So I was like, I'm going for a drive.
Wait, can you go?
I got to get out of the house. I'm going for a drive. I'm just going to get out of the house and go for a random drive around and just air out my brains and throw some music on in the car and drive around. And that's when it hit me when I was just pulling out of the driveway. I turned my phone on and I was like, hey, welcome to AGK's Final Life. And I figured I'm going to just vlog. I'm going to go to Walmart's. I'm going to check out this, let's see if Walmart's are carrying vinyl here yet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the different record stores, see what's going on and what's record shopping like in a lockdown. So that's the whole story.
That's what I'm going to do a video on.
That's my video this week. Record shopping in a lockdown. And you'll see what a disaster it was.
Yeah, I heard what's his name went and flew to Amoeba Records opening, Matt Too Many Records, and people were telling him that was not a good idea during this lockdown to be flying to a record store, but he did. And he said he had a reason because his girlfriend or his significant other had a job thing in California. So
hey, Fittobe Tiedyed, do you want to come up, buddy?
Come on, Paul.
Come on, Paul. Come on up, my friend.
Yep.
Hey, Paul. What's up?
Yep, Vinyl Kits 86, $1,400. That's a lot.
Let me post a link again for anybody that wants to come up. What do I do? Where is it? Okay, got it right this time. No, I didn't. I pressed the wrong thing.
But I'm not going to spend all $1,400. I'm going to spend about maybe 80 of it at the record store. I'm trying to make it under 100.
There's the link for the ye who want to come up.
I'm just I was texting with Rachel on Insta, so I told her to come join us if she's free.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't really use my Insta much to text people.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, you can't do that. I wish they had DMing on YouTube.
That's the only way I can do it because I don't have a cell phone, nor do I want one, so I just use it like
you don't have
that.
a cell phone? Yeah, I have
No,
a cell
but
phone.
I have a special thing that works on my computer for it, so.
Oh, yeah,
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hey, Paul, how you
good
doing?
afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are.
Afternoon. Good. Yeah, I guess it's evening now here. It's 6:40. So.
Yeah, we're 3:40 here out on the left
3:40. Yeah,
coast.
you're in Vancouver, right?
On the left coast, yes.
You're right in Vancouver. Whereabouts in Vancouver are you?
No, I'm in the Fraser Valley.
Fraser Valley. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, of course, all my remaining relatives are from BC in Vancouver, Victoria. So.
How far are you
Most
from
of the ones
Rachel?
I have left are in Victoria.
Paul?
How far?
Yeah.
I was going to say not far enough, but no, that's not. No, it's hard to say because we have to take a ferry to get to Vancouver Island. So as the crow flies, we're probably 50 miles? I don't know. Not that far, but it requires ferry to get to the island. So time-wise, it's probably a couple of hours.
Yeah.
What's your closest ferry? Where do you take a ferry to Vancouver?
I would say probably Tsawwassen is our closest.
You take Tsawwassen?
Well, it depends. If you're going to Victoria, take Tsawwassen. If you're going to Nanaimo, you take Horseshoe Bay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's generally the pattern. Man, I look pale. The lighting here is terrible.
No, it's just we're all been inside for like months and months and months.
Well, yeah, you're talking about.
Yeah, you got to factor that in too. Yeah, true.
My wife got her shot today. I'm getting mine next Saturday.
I
Yeah,
get
I'm
I
getting
get
my
mine on
shots.
Thursday. I get mine
Yeah.
on Thursday. I'm booked for Thursday afternoon for my shot.
I'm
I
getting
could
my
have gone.
second
I
shot.
could have gone on Monday for my shot. They phoned me today and they go, "Would you like to come in on Monday for your shot?" And I was like, "God damn, I already have a doctor's appointment." So I'm booked for Thursday for my first shot.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm getting my second shot on April the 18th.
So
After
maybe
that,
once I have my first shot, I can start
do
working
things.
again. Once I have my first shot, I can start working. Once I have my first shot, I can invite the Playboy Playmate to come back finally on stream with us, and we'll get her up on that live stream that I was supposed to do with her in November. We'll get the Playboy model up here to talk about music. What do bunnies like to listen to?
I got one request, Anthony. Don't have Mason and Macca on your stream when she's on.
So didn't Mason say bye-bye to the world again yesterday?
No,
for the 1000th time?
Mason was on Rachel's stream yesterday telling everybody bye-bye.
Yeah, he was like bye-bye, and he came on Ron Beaudry's stream last night.
Yeah, he was
Peanut
all
gallery, and he was like, "I'm leaving forever."
he's like, I'm leaving. He was all depressed.
Is he getting fed up with YouTube? Is that the?
He's just getting
It's
fed up
just
with
his-
people.
It's
I
just
think.
the circle of life with Mason.
Is it?
That's what it is. It's the
I
circle
was
of
like,
life.
Mason, we're your only friends, Mason, because I don't think Mason has friends in real life. So the vinyl community is his friends.
Well, you know,
And
to
he's
be
pretty
fair,
close with me too. But I like Mason. But I try to
Yeah.
convince him to come join us because I think he needs us.
Well, when he starts spewing off the bad words to us and start calling us bad words, I start to think, do Mason really value us?
I know he's never been like that before. I've never seen him
No,
swear
it's
so much
maybe
like
a
he
year.
has.
Maybe a year of
You know,
pandemic
this
hasn't
whole
been good for him.
situation is causing people to go batty. It really
It
is.
is. I mean, I'm getting, like I said, just before Paul
Yeah.
came on, I got in my car today. I woke up this morning when we got told we were going back in lockdown at midnight last night after being out of lockdown for only like barely 2 weeks. And they're
Yeah.
like, "You're back in lockdown." I was like, "Oh God." I woke up just like I needed to get out of the house and go for a drive. Just put some music
Yeah.
on. I had no idea where I was going. I just got in my car, and that's when I decided, when I was sitting in the driveway, I said, "I'm going to film my video for my channel this week. I'm going to go to record stores. I'm going to drive around to record stores and see what shopping is like in a lockdown." And the idea just came to me. So, and I spent 3 hours just driving around today, and I feel better for doing it.
That's a good video to do.
Well,
And I-
just getting out of the house is really
Yeah,
important.
just
Yeah.
getting out of the house and listening to music in the car and driving around, and it helped. Because when I woke up today, I was not in a good frame of mind. I was just like, "God damn, I'm so sick and tired of this freaking
Oh, yeah.
drudgery of a lifetime."
Yeah, it's
My mom got her first shot a couple of weeks ago. I get my first shot. I can relax now because I've been really, really terrified to be out of the house, mainly because of my mom, being 94 with multiple health issues, taking like 7-8 pills a day to stay alive. I could not even in the slightest let a germ into this house. If I got it, my mom's done. I'm done if I got it.
My
I got
mom's
lung
90.
problems.
My mom's 94 as well.
Yeah, I got a lung issue. I have a syndrome called shortness of breath. There's nothing organically wrong with my lungs. They determined this a couple of years ago. There's nothing organically wrong with my lungs. I don't have asthma or anything. I just have a syndrome. It's called shortness of breath. It happens. I'll get very short of breath. So A, that's a bad thing to have with this. B, I'm waiting for hernia surgery. C, I'm waiting for gallbladder surgery for 2 years. So both of these conditions are on hold for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years, because of this. So it wouldn't be good if I caught this virus. It would probably be detrimental to me. It would be suicide to my mom. So I've been really, really being careful for the last year stuck in here. But after a year, it's driving me crazy. My mom got her first shot. My mom got her first shot. I feel a lot more relieved now that she's got her first shot. I can start having some of her nurses. Like I canceled all her nurses. So I've been taking care of my mom for the last year because she had 4 different nurses come in a week to do different services for her. One that groomed her, one that bathed her, one that took care of some bed sores and things. And different people would come in, but I canceled them all because these people are going from home to home, from old age homes and whatnot. I can't have these people coming into my house. Who knows who they saw that right before that, right? So I had to cancel them all. But now she's had her first shot, so maybe I can start letting some of them come back now. Once I have my first shot, I can breathe easier. I can get back to maybe doing a little bit of Ubering, just getting back to a little bit of normal life again. I'll do Uber Eats. I won't do Ubering with people sitting in my backseat. I'm not there yet. Maybe after my second shot, I'll consider it. But I'll do Uber Eats and stuff. And we'll get our Playboy Playmate to come up on camera.
You gotta protect your family. My dad's 80, so he's got both his shots. So what you gotta do is protect your older family members and make sure they don't get sick.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
always on
Once
my
I have my
mind.
shot, I think a lot of my stress and anxiety will go down once I get my shot.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
first shot is not that bad. You just get a sore arm. That's what
Yeah,
you
my
get.
mom got a sore arm. She got a big headache. Like they give you the shot, then they make you sit for 15 minutes and wait, and right. So she sat there, and then she just got this really bad headache, but it only lasted for like 5 minutes. And then she was a little punky. She was tired for a couple of days and kind of felt blah and had a sore arm, but she was all right. So if she can take it, I can take it.
The second shot is supposed to be the one that's the worst. That's the one where you get like a mild fever. That's what my mom got.
With the Pfizer or the Moderna, or which one?
I don't know. I think she had Moderna, but she said the second shot
we got
was
the Pfizer.
definitely
My mom had the Pfizer. I'm getting the Pfizer.
I'm
not
Moderna.
getting that AstraZeneca. I'm keeping them away from that AstraZeneca.
I got Moderna, so
Forget the
Moderna.
AstraZeneca. I hear there's problems with that AstraZeneca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they have that out here. I don't know.
And they've already said that the AstraZeneca is only 79% effective at
who wants
at best case scenario. Best case scenario.
No, nobody wants that.
79% is not good odds for me.
No,
I'm one of those people that would fall into that 21% that get it.
Me too. I met a guy yesterday
I
when
have
I
that
was
sort of
waiting
luck.
who had COVID.
So
My luck.
Well, I think the thing is, regardless of what shot you get, you still got to use your head. You know.
Of course you do.
You know, you still got to be careful and not just.
Yeah, I'm not gonna change my pattern of how I do things. Just
I don't think you can.
I'm still gonna.
I think some people are thinking that they can just go back to normal life after that. No.
I think we're gonna be wearing a mask for the
Masks
next
are here
years.
to stay.
Yep, they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. Get used to having a mask for the next 20 years, people. Masks ain't going anywhere. This thing is going to keep. This thing's going to keep mutating. The variants. You think they're going to stop? No, they're never going to stop.
Yeah, they found one in California that was a Brazilian mutant that came out recently. So yeah, they are changing and
it's here to stay. Anybody that thinks this is going to end, they are sadly mistaken. This is here. It's part of the world now. We're going to be wearing masks forever. Simple as that. And eventually, and I don't mean to be a doom and gloom kind of guy, but eventually this virus will mutate enough. It'll wipe out. I think the world is on a clock now.
I agree with you, Bob.
I think the human race is on a clock now.
Yeah. People tell me you're still going to wear a mask. I go, yeah, even when I go to Amoeba.
This thing will keep mutating.
I will still wear a mask.
Eventually, they won't be able to vaccinate against it, or fast enough.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of the. I think it's the beginning of the end of civilization. I think it really is.
So, are you guys in in Ontario? Are you in a complete lockdown? Like, are people going to work, or what's going on?
Oh yeah, well the lockdown that they have put back, they rolled us back one step. They took us out a step, and now they rolled it back. I mean, it basically means that all hair salons and things like that closed again. Gyms all closed again. Movie theaters all closed again. Stores are limited to big stores are limited to 50%. Small stores maximum of I think there's 25% or whatever. Groups of people are now from 10 in a group back to 5 in a group. All of your family bubble, that sort of thing. Kids are still going to school. Stores are still open. It's not lockdown like curbside pickup like it was previously. They've gone back one step, but maybe who knows? They're going to do this for April because the variant cases just skyrocketed in the last week. We were at 1,000 or so cases a day 2 weeks ago when they lifted the lockdown step, and now in the last 2 weeks it's gone to 2,500 a day.
Yeah, because you got people doing spring break out here. Yeah.
And now we're on spring break. We're the only province. We are the only province in a week going on spring break. The rest of the United States and Canada had spring break in March.
Yeah.
Here in Ontario, they said, no, we're going to postpone spring break until April because it'd probably be better. Well, nothing's better. And what are you going to do now in another week with the cases rising? What are you going to do another week? You're going to postpone spring break again another month?
Yeah.
No, now the cases are up there, and you're going to give spring break to Ontarians. It's kind of pointless when nobody else in the world is in spring break now. No.
My sister's spring break is ending tomorrow.
My daughter will sit here at home for a week. She's nothing she can do, nowhere she can go. My daughter will just sit here at home for a week. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's roughest on my teenage daughter, I think, than me staying at home the last year hasn't been brutal. It hasn't been great, but it's not as hard as I think it is on teens.
Well, I've been teaching online for like over a year now. Like it was a year in March, and I'm loving it. Like I have no commuting stress. I have the expenses. I have no expenses. Like really, it's really I'm saving all kinds of money just because I don't have to drive to work. So I'm enjoying it, but I don't know.
But I think for teens, like my daughter who's 15 now, that she went into grade 9 this year, and she was really looking forward to high school. That was going to be her.
Yeah, it's
like the dating, the social thing. High school is a big deal, and she was looking forward to it. And I know she doesn't say it, and she puts on. My daughter's really good at putting on a smiley face and being brave and whatnot, and saying everything's okay. But I don't think it's okay. I think the age she is now, I think being with her friends and being with peers is really, really important stage of her development.
Yes.
And she's being denied a very, very crucial stage in her natural development by not being able to interact with friends and peers and start the whole boyfriend thing and everything that happens when you become 15, 16 and start going to high school. I feel bad for her.
Yeah, teenage kids. They really want that interaction with their friends.
Yeah, it's hard for her. I feel bad for her having to live on her cell phone, forced to live on her cell phone to communicate with her friends on FaceTime, text messaging.
But in the meantime, she's safe.
Yeah, she's safe. But
yeah.
Why am I getting an echo all of a sudden?
Yeah, I got an echo here too.
Yeah, I got an echo. Somebody's got an echo.
I don't have any YouTube on.
No, mine's muted.
No, I don't have YouTube on. I just have, I'm looking up Easter eggs. Don't ask why, but yeah.
And it seems to have cleared up now. Talk, Paul?
Yeah, I don't hear it now.
Yeah,
it was probably on your end. You probably had it open because I was like, why is there an echo?
Yeah.
Or it could be a StreamYard glitch of some sort.
Yeah, StreamYard does things like that.
Yeah, like last night on Ron's stream, there was that staticky noise that was driving me crazy.
I kept turning off my thing to see if it was me. I kept muting myself, and it wasn't me. It was obviously someone on.
I think it was Ron. But Ron never looks at the chat.
Yeah, because Ron doesn't read his chats.
Exactly.
At all.
So we're trying to talk to him in the chat and this and that. He's just like. I was like, I said link like 5 times so I could come on.
No, I said to him Anthony wants to come on. Give a link. And he was like, what? I was like, link.
I know. He's just like goes off in his little world on and on and on.
He is. And people kept asking if he's going to come back to Rachel's stream. And I said, no, he doesn't want to.
I don't think that's going to happen. That's not going to happen.
It's not happening. I was like, people, stop asking.
Paul, you're not going back to Rachel's stream. I know that.
Yeah. Only time I will be up on a stream is if my name is mentioned. And I'm like, I got to go defend myself. Like, if I see me mentioned, I'm like, okay, I got to go up there.
And speaking of the chat, let me have a quick look at the chat, what's going on here. I don't like to ignore the chat either.
They're just talking about the live streams and shots.
Yeah. Rachel just texted me saying she's watching Risky Business.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, my movie collection is very small compared to some of you guys. I have like 15.
Well, you've seen half the stuff I've been taking off my shelves.
Well, because I have Netflix, so Netflix really does help when I want to see movies.
I mean, I have Netflix. I have Disney Plus, which also has that new thing called Star. I also have Prime Video.
No, I just have Netflix. It's me and my 3 siblings. We use the Netflix.
And then regular cable TV.
Oh, we don't have cable TV. I haven't had cable TV since the early 2000s.
And I haven't even watched any of my programs I've recorded. I get distracted by everything else.
I don't know. I don't live in Canada, but some of my friends don't like Trudeau, and they do live in Canada. So.
Yeah,
so I've been binging since last night. I've been binging The Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Oh yeah, I tried to watch a show on Netflix. Unfortunately, shows with teenage subject matters, I don't really binge watch them that much. I'm
really enjoying it because I've always liked Molly Ringwald.
Well, you know what? I binge watch K-dramas. That's what I like to watch. Korean dramas, Chinese dramas.
Hold on, I'm going to put the blinks in.
Star Power asks, "Is Trudeau popular in Canada?" Well, I don't. I avoid the political questions, but I mean, obviously, it depends who you talk to. I have no qualms against Trudeau. So I don't mind him. I like him. He's all right. I think he's done well on the pandemic side of things, pretty well. At least he wasn't. At least he didn't do what Donald Trump did to our country.
Yeah,
When
I
it came to the
can't
pandemic.
say much Star Power since I don't live in Canada, but
Yeah, I know. We avoid the political stuff.
yeah, our country's already gone through.
I
a lot.
remember when I was 7 years old, I met Pierre Trudeau in Banff. When I was a little kid, Prime Minister Trudeau, our current Trudeau's father, who was the longest running Prime Minister in Canada for like 11 years or something. I met him in Banff as a kid and shook his hand. And I remember I was thrilled and didn't want to wash my hand for a week. As a 7-year-old kid, you're meeting like the boss of the country, you know?
I feel yeah. If you meet someone famous when you're young, it has an impact with you.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. Met Trudeau, and it was a big deal. I didn't know anything about politics or anything, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Hello.
Trudeau lasted
Hello,
11 years. I
Nick
think it was 11
Fantasy.
years or something like that. He was a very popular prime minister in Canada.
Yeah, we out here
And
we
his
are.
son's all right. I don't mind our Trudeau.
Seems like your country's doing pretty good.
I'm sure there's 100 other people in the VC that would probably bash me for it, but whatever. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't give a rat.
It's
about
okay.
politics.
People bash me for being a Biden supporter.
I don't care about politics in the slightest. Honestly, I don't care about politics.
I don't understand
every
it.
single
So
politician,
It's good, James.
every single politician that will ever be elected in the history of the world and in the future will fuck up their country one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, I have a
Simple
good
as that.
example. I have a good
As simple
example.
as that.
United States.
Every
of America.
politician will fuck up the country one way or another. So,
Our country is a good example of a country that's fucked up. Yeah, but that's as far as we'll go.
So,
so what's new, Paul? I know you ordered the golden earring because why did you order it if you already had a nice copy of the original? Or did
Well,
you
I just like to
you
get-
just wanted an upgrade?
yeah, it's an upgrade. It's music on vinyl, and I'd like to have those. So I haven't.
Yeah, I would
ordered
ultimately
it yet.
like to have every.
I haven't actually ordered it yet. At least I don't think I did. Maybe
I
I
would
did.
like to actually have every golden earring on music on vinyl if they haven't done them all yet. If they ever did, I would like to have an entire.
I'm
MLB
sure they'll do
collection.
them all. There's still some in the 80s.
There's a ton still. They've done everything up to live.
Yeah.
To live, but they haven't done Grab It for a Second. They haven't done No Promises.
Right.
They have done Prisoner of the Night. They haven't done Second Live. They haven't done Cut. They haven't done
No.
Nuke. They haven't done The Hole. They haven't done Keeper of the Flame.
Yeah. There's all those ones in the
There's
80s.
all
they
the
haven't
80s.
done
The
yet.
whole 80s from like 78 to 90 needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
They haven't done any of that period. They've done all the 90s, all the 2000s, all the 2010s, all
Right.
the 60s, and most of the 70s. But there's a big chunk.
So
in the middle.
I gotta. There's a few more I gotta get from the 60s. I don't have.
Miracle Mirror is
first
the only one
one,
missing.
I don't have the first one. I don't have the third one, and I don't have 8 Miles High.
Yeah, that's the one. The only one I don't have is Miracle Mirror, which is the third one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they will repress that one really soon and do a repress on that because it was repressed back in 2012, and the copies that are out there are worth a fortune now.
Yeah.
So I hope they need to do another run of that, and because they're doing another run of Live now, I wouldn't be surprised because Live has already been out on black and red, so the white is a third run. The white is a third run now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they need to do a rerun of Contraband, and they need to do a rerun of Miracle Mirror, and then they need to do a first run of those other ones we just talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have the first two, I don't have the third. I have on the double, I have everything like the one you just got. I got the regular black vinyl MOV of Live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have the black vinyl versions of 8 Miles High, on the double, and Live, and Moontan. Those are ones I have all on black. Everything else is on a colored.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll see how it goes. I mean, it's just you're limited, and I'm not going to pay a fortune for these things because it's not worth that much. But they come up. They come up cheap.
But that music, I love music on vinyl pressing.
Well, the other one I got here,
I like them like more than MoFi's. They're more affordable and they have great sound quality.
One of them I bought was Closer to Home by Grand Funk. I just got it on music on vinyl.
I love music on vinyl.
It sounds great. I didn't have that on vinyl at all before.
Yeah, and I just got, of course, my Ennio Morricones. I just completed that 5-album set. Those are music on vinyl. The At the Movies series by Music on Vinyl.
Yeah, I gotta get that Western one.
I wish they did that with the other music on vinyls because the At the Movie ones come with these beautiful, the beautiful plastic outer protectors.
Oh wow, that's great.
All right, They come with the nice ones. They come with the really nice, the PVC sleeves.
Yeah,
I wish all the music on vinyls did that, but only the movie ones they do come with these really nice sleeves.
That is nice.
Yeah, they are really, really nice. But they only do it on the. And I got last summer. I got Casino Royale soundtrack, which was the first time on vinyl. MOV, beautiful, sounds gorgeous.
Paul, a couple of years I watched one of your videos, and you had a box set of Eric Clapton. It was two. You had two copies of it. Remember that one? It was a big box set. You had two of them of the same one. I forget what it was called. I think it was Crossroads or something, maybe.
Oh, I got Crossroads. Yeah.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, I got a couple of Eric Clapton ones. I've got there's a white one I got that's got his early albums in it too. Is that the one let me get it.
I can't remember which one it was.
If you see the picture, you'll probably know.
Yeah.
Is this one?
Hey, Nick Panzetti, how you doing?
Is that one?
Oh yeah.
I think it was. I'm not sure.
This one's got his studio albums in it, up to Another Ticket. So there's that one. Don't know if that's what you're thinking of. And
No.
Okay, so the other one would be the Crossroads. Let me get it.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Crossroads, where are you, Crossroads?
Is it a box set collection of albums there, James? Or
I think it was
it a comp?
because I remember it was a box set, something like that. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got this on, I originally had it on CD. Then I bought the albums, and my record store got them on cassette. I got one that's on cassette. There's 4 cassettes in it.
Okay.
And
that was the one I remember now. Yeah.
The record store had it for like $25, and I thought, well, for $25, it wasn't much, eh? So, it's a great set. Really, really nicely done. One of the early box sets, one of the first CD box sets that ever came out. Exceptionally well done, though.
I was never a huge enough Clapton fan to buy singular albums.
I love Clapton.
Yeah, he is what he is. My favorite Clapton.
For me, this is what I've got from Clapton here.
Okay, so yeah.
This was that Record Store Day exclusive.
All right.
Complete Clapton, the 4 album one.
Okay.
Which is good. It's kind of got everything.
It's a compilation, right?
Yeah, it's a comp. It's a 4 LP comp of like 2 and it only was released for Record Store Day. Never released outside of Record Store Day.
My favorite period of his is the early period, particularly Derrick and the Dominoes.
Yeah. Besides this album here, I have the only other Clapton I own. I think I have a couple things on CD. Yeah. But I have the Derrick and the Dominoes, Layla. I have that on MoFi because that is a great album.
Yeah. Well, they just reissued it last year, the 50th anniversary, in a remix.
And they played it at the end of the Goodfellas, that song, Layla.
So it came out in a box set.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice. Hey, we said nice at the same time.
Jinx, you owe me a boba.
Well,
Always
the
say
thing
that
that's
on
really cool. There's 4 LPs.
You're too far away for me to get you one.
I know. It's
There's
just a
4
joke.
LPs in this, and the first 2 are the original Layla, and then there's the album they did after that was never released. And then the 4th LP is neatest part about it is it's got 4 songs on side 1 that they did on the Johnny Cash show. And it's really good. And one of them they do with Johnny Cash and Waylon. No, not Waylon Jennings. Oh shoot, just left my brain there. Where is it here? No, I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Carl Perkins. They do Matchbox with Carl Perkins, so it's really cool. You got Derrick and the Dominoes with Johnny Cash and Carl Perkins doing Matchbox. It's amazing. It's great stuff. Great stuff. Anyway, that's a good one to get. If you're into Derrick and the Dominoes, this is kind of a
I might have to check that one out.
Yeah, it's a good one to get. I don't know if it's on CD. Probably.
Do you remember from 1992 when he did his Unplugged thing, Eric Clapton?
Yeah.
Well, if you listen to that song, Alberta, Alberta, that's the melody for Karina, Karina.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a while since I played that.
That's a good album. That's a good one to have.
Is it on vinyl?
I don't know.
I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Because there are some unplugged albums on vinyl.
There's a lot of stuff that came out in the 90s that have never been on vinyl. You know, that's
there's a lot of 90s stuff.
So,
but what I don't understand is he stole George Harrison's wife, and yet they still stayed friends. It's weird.
It was the 70s.
It was.
a weird year.
Free love. Free love. It was the 70s.
You guys, there's a really great channel if you're interested in Derrick and the Dominoes. Bobby Whitlock, of course, was the keyboard guy in Derrick and the Dominoes. He's got a YouTube channel, and he does almost daily. He's doing these little reminiscences of all his days, you know. And he talks a lot about the All Things Must Pass sessions because he played on almost every song on that album.
Wow.
And he lived with George at the time, and he's got some fascinating stories. And of course, he talks about Dominoes, and it's really great stuff. You get a chance, just do a search for Bobby Whitlock. His wife is interviewing him.
Oh yeah,
he's sitting there, and he just goes on, and he's wonderful.
Wow,
stories.
That sounds interesting.
He stayed in one I was watching. He lived in Keith Moon's house for a while, and sunk his boat. Keith had this old cedar strip boat that you had to bail out every day, leak, and he forgot to bail it out, and the boat sank.
Oh shit, that's not good.
Keith had a good sense of humor about it, you know, but apparently, so he just he knows all these guys. It's really fascinating stuff.
So on Wednesday night, I was listening to the Fab Forum on Sirius XM on the Beatles channel, and they interviewed Beck.
Okay.
And Beck was telling a story of how he went to a record store one day and he bought Carole King's album Tapestry.
Yep.
And apparently, when he was looking at the liner notes, his dad had played on that album.
Really?
He said, "Dad, you never told me this." His dad had played on with everybody. And then he was telling a story how he went to this place and he was trying to get his tickets printed out for a Paul McCartney concert, and he was panicking that he was never going to get in. Then he got there, and he saw a guy in a nice suit, and he says, "Can you help me? I can't get my ticket printed out. I really want to see the show." He says to him, "Sir, did you know that you can use your cell phone? There's a barcode on there." He goes, "What? Are you serious?" He says, "Yeah, you can use a barcode on your phone because that's what everybody else is doing that." And so he used his barcode, He downed 2 beers in 1 minute, he said, and then he sat down and watched Paul McCartney for 3 hours, and he cried.
I like Beck's album Odelay. That's a good album.
And he's a really good. He told some really good stories.
Yeah, Beck has some really good songs.
The only one I really know is "Loser."
Oh yeah, everybody knows that one.
Yeah,
I'm loser, baby. So why don't you
I'm
kill
not a big
me?
Beck fan. I know "Loser." That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Beck is not somebody I really see myself adding to my collection, but I do like. I might add a CD.
Even Jeff Beck, I wasn't a big fan of either.
And Beck is on that McCartney 3 reimagined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that track. I did a video comment. I wasn't that impressed with it. I just thought,
Yeah,
whatever.
they played it the other night on the
Maybe
Beatles
there'll
channel.
be
I didn't like it either.
A Paul McCartney 3 reimagined when that one doesn't sell either.
Whatever.
I just hope he doesn't do what he did with Egypt Station with all the different suitcase editions.
He's gonna milk it to death.
Oh, of course, he's gonna milk it to death, James. It's Paul McCartney. He already had like 9 variants of that album.
And you know Marv, right? You know Marv. Marv will buy every single edition.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Like I don't mind that, and I think if you got the money and you're that big a fan, and whatever, But
I'm sure.
I just think what's happened with music, and it's part of what I was saying in the video I did here a couple videos back, is that when I grew up, the music promoted itself, and now what's happening is the music is used to promote merchandise.
Exactly.
It's all about selling stuff. It's not about the music anymore.
And
that's what bothers me about all this stuff. It's like we've lost the art form. The music doesn't matter anymore, and it's really sad to see that.
I'll be honest though, in that if it was Golden Earring, and it has been Golden Earring, I'm gonna jump on it. Just like some people are jumping on the McCartney. McCartney fans are eating this stuff up.
Yeah, but
if it's Golden Earring, I'm going to eat it up too.
Extent,
I bought that Thin Lizzy box set because did I need it? No, but I had to have it. If eventually they get everybody because they find everybody sweet.
Well, it's just what I said. Like, if Marv wants to buy all that stuff, then that's great because he's really into this stuff. Okay,
Marv's
fantastic, but it's overdone too. I think it's safe for somebody to say
Marv gets every bootleg. He's got so many copies of Magical Mystery Tour. It's unbelievable.
Do you really need that much?
I don't need more. I don't need more than one copy.
Golden Earring like they did McCartney 3. It's not nearly to the same. It's like, okay, so they come out with a new version or a new pressing or whatever. That stuff's all because it's still about the music at that point. But
and the Golden Earring stuff has been they're only pressing them in 1,000, 1,500 quantities in the first place.
Sure,
so
yeah.
They see that those 1,500 got snatched up, and it's like, okay, we need to press another 1,000. The demand is there. We'll press another 1,000. Yeah, that's what it is. That's fine.
But it all started like Melinda Murphy did a video on it too, and she was sort of saying at some point, the stuff becomes so expensive that it's no longer accessible to most people. And that's a shame too, because when they're reissuing albums that you haven't been able to get on vinyl for years, and they start reissuing the stuff, it's in limited quantities, and as soon as they all get bought up, then the prices go through the roof, and you didn't even have the opportunity to buy the reissue, and all of a sudden the price goes through the roof, and you're left out. And that's
Yeah, I know. It's just like
that's the issue I think that a lot of people have.
Yeah, that is the issue.
Yeah, I never understand the logic in pressing 1,500 copies of something, and then saying, "Well, we're going to have to press another 1,500 copies, and then another 1,500 copies." Just press 10,000 freaking copies,
exactly.
like they did in the old days. Press a crap load.
Well, it's all about marketing,
and it'll
I know, but they should just do that.
Because all they're doing is forcing the third party.
I know.
It's just simple supply and demand.
I know.
The fewer they press, the higher they can charge.
The demand is exceeding supply.
They should do way more copies.
The demand is exceeding supply now, and
Yeah.
so all the record companies are doing is shooting themselves in the foot because they sell the 1,500 copies. There's a demand out there for, let's say,
Well,
3,000
it hurts the
copies.
artist too, right? Because the
Right?
artist
Yeah.
won't get.
Exactly.
So
It does hurt the
they won't
artist.
get the royalties, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's hurting the artist.
The demand is there for 1,500. The demand is there for 3,000. They only make 1,500.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
now, and probably 2/3 of those 1,500 get flipped, and people make money on them. The record company's not making the money. The artist is not making the money.
That's right.
So just press 3,000 fucking copies. Don't press 1,500.
No,
copies.
they should do way more. Like there's one album I wanted by Yellow Card, and they only did 1,000 copies of it. I'm like there's demand for it.
I look at some of these golden earring releases, first time on vinyl, like Last Blast of the Century, first time on vinyl. And Naz Nomad and I had a freaking heart attack trying to get a copy because they only pressed 1,000 of them. That was it, 1,000. And Naz and I were like daily texting each other going, where are we going to buy it? Where are we going to buy it? Who's got a pre-order? Who's got a pre-order? Where are we going to get it? Where are we going to get it? We were freaking out. We were stressing out because we did not want to miss out on this one time only of that album right there.
Number 201.
Vinyl. Right? We were freaking out. So we ended up ordering them from a place in the UK. Naz and I ordered a pair of them from a place in the UK because we wanted to jump on it. And then they never showed up. And we got all our money back. And we were going to order them because we found them somewhere else. We found a couple copies. There was only 6 left. And we found a couple copies somewhere else where there were 6 left. So we were about to order them from there, and then Naz got the package. So not only did we finally get the golden earrings, but we got all our money back, so we got them for free.
Oh.
But we were freaking out because
I know
we shouldn't have to go through that sort of stress as a fan of the golden earring who's finally getting this album for the first time ever on vinyl. We shouldn't have to stress about getting a copy.
You see, that's what Melinda was talking about in her video. It's like it's kind of like playing the lottery just to buy a frickin' record.
They do a lot of
these like my favorite artists. Like I shouldn't have to go. I was literally having anxiety over this freaking album.
This is a common thing they do nowadays with releases. It's called limited edition.
It shouldn't be like this. It's popular music. It should be available to the populace.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
in the 70s and 80s when this stuff was being pressed like crazy, they were pressing 20, 30, 40,000 copies, please. Michael Jackson's Thriller, how many copies did they press? Like 12 freaking million. Like
unless it's special edition of a record. If it's just a standard black vinyl, you don't need to do limited editions of the album.
At least do it. It's like like this golden earring, Last Blast of the Century. 1,000 on gold vinyl. That's all they press. Period. An album that's never been on vinyl before, you press 1,000 only. Period.
I got 201.
Why didn't you press 1,000 on gold vinyl and another 3,000 on just regular black vinyl? At least.
They should do
that too.
I mean, there's a demand for that record, right? A lot of people want it. They should just.
That's probably Golden Earring's best live album, period.
If you're a Golden Earring fan, it's a demand. And, there's not a lot of those in North America, but in Europe,
Europe, people sell out stadiums to see Golden Earring up to this day until they retired. Golden Earring sold out freaking stadiums and festivals up to this day in Europe. So the demand is there. Maybe not so much in North America. We have probably a small audience in North America, but those 1,000 copies would easily sell out in Europe easily.
I don't have any site, Christoph. You can guarantee I won't be sending you any site. I'm not really a site collector. He's like, send me your site. I don't know, Anthony.
We still got to do our live stream on Golden Earring, Anthony. We do.
Well, we got to get Naz in on that too.
You guys have got to do a live stream.
He's had, Naz hasn't been able to be on for the last couple of months because he's had some issues to deal with. And I was talking to him today, and he was going to try to come on, but he's just got some stuff to deal with.
Oh, here's a question for you, Anthony. You probably know this. I don't know it. You guys know about Golden Earring. I'm a newbie.
Give me the best Golden Earring song.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's going to be our favorite. Mine, I really love Are You Receiving Me? I love that song.
I'd have to go with my first album. It's gonna harken back to the first album I ever owned, which was the Canadian version of Moontan. The better of the two versions of Moontan. Yeah. And I gotta go with Vanilla Queen.
Yeah, I can't argue with that either. That's
even Big Tree Blue Sea.
And you know, a third person would say Candy's going bad.
Yeah, I gotta go with Vanilla Queen. To this day,
you know,
if I could only take one Golden Earring song to my grave, it would be Vanilla Queen.
Yeah, I love Are You Saving Me. I put that song on just to play
that album's a 10 out of 10. There's 5.
Oh, that's an 11 out of 10.
5 perfect songs on that album. 5 perfect songs.
And Radar Love is the weakest track on the album.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Radar track is a great track for driving in.
It's a fantastic track.
I like Radar Love,
and it's the weakest track.
Yeah, that's the only song I've heard by them.
Exactly, that's the weakest track on the album.
That makes two of us.
The weakest track on that album. If you're into prog or any of that sort of early '70s rock scene, that's a must-have.
That's what I say to people. I say to anybody, if you like Radar Love, you will love the rest of the album.
Well, you know, I don't know if he comments on your stuff, but there's a guy called Vertical Man. He's from England. He'd be a little bit older than us. And he just did a video the other day, and he bought the CD of the U.S. version of Moontan on my recommendation. He credits me in the video, and he admits, he says he only had ever heard Radar Love.
Well, Greg, man,
he picked up that album and he got the North American version, which I thank God he did because it's much better. And he's starting to turn on to these guys now. So
but take the North American version and stick it in the original version cover, you got the perfect album.
Yeah.
Because the North American version album cover was absolute trash.
I saw them at my record store one time. They had this album cover with a girl on the front.
Yeah, that's the original version with the vanilla. You know who the girl is on the cover is the Vanilla Queen. She's the Vanilla Queen. The song Vanilla Queen is about that showgirl.
Oh, well, I had no idea. I saw it at my store, and I was asking a record store, and who's Golden Earring?
Yeah, the
guy goes, they're a good band.
Yeah, there it is. The song Vanilla Queen. She's the Vanilla Queen.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the Vanilla Queen right there, because the song is about this showgirl. And there's the North American cover, an ear with a golden earring in it.
Yeah, that's the one I saw at the record store for like $7. But I didn't think
get it.
Outstanding.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I didn't think about it because I had no idea who they were.
This is a better album than the European version.
Next time,
like I said, take that record and stick it in the European cover. You got the perfect album.
Yep.
I'll look into them next time I'm there. I'll get a CD. So.
Now, did you know I just found out here yesterday. I was doing some research on it, and you know the song "Vanilla Queen."
Yeah. My favorite song.
There's 2 lines spoken in that by a woman. Do you know who the woman is?
No, who is it?
You know the lines. What's your name, honey? And then there's another line where she says in perfect English. You know who it is? It's Marilyn Monroe.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
The movie. What's the movie she did?
I thought that voice was familiar.
Yeah,
all these years it's bothered me. It was very, very.
And it's taken from the movie, something like There Goes Hollywood or something. It was one of those big production movies.
Oh, No Business Like Show Business.
Yeah, there's No Business Like Show Business. That's it. Those are from that movie, and it's Marilyn Monroe. I never knew that until yesterday.
Okay, well, here I wanted to get this up. I showed this earlier on the stream, but you weren't here. You weren't here earlier, Paul, and I showed this earlier on the stream. We were talking about this earlier. So I'm going to show you something else now, too. So I spun this last night. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. I spun this last night, and this is a Direct Metal Master reissue.
Oh, DMM, nice.
Yeah. This is a really nice album. Fever, it's got all the classic songs.
Oh, great stuff,
My Heart Belongs to
Great
Dad.
blues stuff, eh?
Yeah, but the main reason I got this is to be a Golden Earring completist. I mean, I love that. This is a fantastic album. I totally grooved on this album last night.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Coming strong.
Old crooner, female crooner.
Yeah.
But the main reason I picked this particular
Peggy Lee coming on strong.
Yeah, the reason I picked this one up is because if you look at this song right here, track number 6.
Yeah. Golden Earrings.
Golden Earrings. And the story is,
wow.
The story is, and I found this out from a a website that interviewed George Koymans. When George Koymans and Renus made the Tornadoes, their original band,
Yep.
And were playing gigs, they did a lot of cover songs.
They were in
They
high
were
school.
a covers band. They were a covers band that played cover songs. One of the cover songs that they played and they loved and they played was this Peggy Lee, Golden Earrings.
So now we know
This
where
is where the name of the band came from.
Absolutely it did.
This is where, so there you are. For Golden Earring completists, you need to have, it's such a gorgeous song too. So
I'll have to get that. I never knew that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I learned this about a month ago. And Golden
The whole
Earrings,
the
they
Marilyn
played this
Monroe
song.
thing. The
They
Marilyn
played
Monroe
a cover
thing.
of this song as the Tornadoes, and that's where the name of that's why it was called Golden Earrings initially, because the name of the song is Golden Earrings, and the song is gorgeous. The song
That's
is
amazing.
gorgeous.
Wow,
So there you go, Peggy Lee Golden.
Marilyn Monroe thing blew me away when I found that out. That was
the birth of
Yeah,
Golden
that sounds
Earring,
interesting.
that's really cool.
and that was
Well, you know,
right-
they had three names, right? It was the Golden Earrings, and then they dropped the. It was Golden Earrings.
and then
Then they
no, it was
dropped
actually
the
four
and
Golden
became-
Earrings, four names, because it was the Golden Earrings, then Golden Earrings, then the Golden Earring, then Golden Earring.
Yeah, so they had all those names. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And since 1970, it's been Golden Earring.
but yeah,
When-
George
when
Clement
Cesar
said
joined the
that's-
band.
George Clement said, yeah, we used to play Peggy Lee's
Show you how
Golden
crazy
Earrings
about
as a
Golden
cover.
Earring. I watched a 54-minute video where they were interviewing Cesar and Renus. It's all in Dutch. I didn't have a clue what they were saying, but I watched the whole
same
video.
one. I watched the same one. Didn't have a clue what they were talking about.
It was
That's why you
great.
put on captions, I guess, if they
Just
have.
like George Clemens. There's a few great.
Oh
George
yes,
Clemens
yes, that
ones, too.
happens to me all the time. I'm watching Korean shows. They have it in Korean. I'm
I have
like,
a clue what they're saying. I could pick out the odd word. I watched all 54 minutes of it.
Yeah, well, there's
that's
one,
that's me with TV shows.
There
That
was one that was filmed about a month before George announced his retirement of George in a room showing all his guitars. And it's totally in you can look it up on YouTube. George Show goes into this room in his house. They drive to George's house. They go in the house and he shows every one of his guitars.
Yeah, it's all in Dutch.
And it's all in Dutch, but who cares? It was fantastic to watch all the
seen that
guitars. And I look at it and I go, hey, I recognize that guitar. I know what tour he played that used that guitar on. Oh, I know that guitar. I know that guitar.
You know, I was listening to what album was it? It might have been Last Blast of the Century. Yeah, you know what it was? It was Twilight Zone.
That's
And
such a fantastic live
He
album.
does an amazing guitar solo in that. Like when you play that, you put him on the same level of guys like Hendrix, Clapton, all these guys. George Koymans is right beside those guys.
You put
amazing guitar.
Cesar. Take Cesar's drum solo from Last Blast. I put Cesar's drum solo on Last Blast against anything that Neil Peart drummed. I'm
Yep.
telling you.
Yep.
Cesar, world-class drummer.
Yep.
And the drum
And
solo.
nobody
in
on that
Last
side of the
Blast
ocean
concert
knows
was
about these
mind-blowing.
guys. It ticks me off because they're
Yeah, I know.
fantastic.
It does. It ticks me off how North America just has the majority is
well,
shunned
now
them.
I know who they are because of you guys. So I will be out.
massive in Europe. Massive.
I'm gonna have to listen to some of their music on YouTube
Yeah.
now.
Anthony, do you have an album of theirs you don't like?
No.
I don't either. I like every
I
album.
know there's
Some of
albums
them
that,
are crazy
that
about
have
it.
been panned, and even the band doesn't like them. But I get it. Like it's like the band says the whole. They really don't like what they did.
I don't
with The
like.
Whole.
I'm not a big fan of that
But
album.
I
either.
like that album a lot. I love Quiet Eyes is one of my favorite.
Well, Quiet
one
Eyes-
of my favorite Golden Earring songs. So
If you wanna
I
hear a
understand.
song
I understand what they were trying to do when they made it with the whole synth drums and stuff.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the era. It was synth pop time. It was the synth pop era. I understand what they were
Yeah,
being forced to create in that era.
Yeah.
But
You
no,
wanna
there's
hear
not an
a
album I
song,
don't like.
guys, go to YouTube and find Quiet Eyes. It'll blow your mind. It's a gorgeous song.
And it's a great music video too.
Yeah. Quiet Eyes. Check that out.
I'll have to look it up.
A lot of
Nobody's ever heard of
A
it.
lot of the Golden Earring music videos you had to watch when they first came out on MTV. They were banned to late night MTV because
Yeah.
they had a lot of sexy girls and they were pretty steamy, saucy videos. So MTV would only play the Golden Earring music videos after midnight. because they were too racy to put on during prime time. You look at them now and you just laugh, but back in the day, that's like, no.
Oh, I know, that was hot stuff.
These damn Dutch people and their sexual freedom.
That's right. Anyway, they're well worth listening to. We got to do a video.
Take Just Earrings, their first album, Just Earrings. It's as much beat bop as any of the early Beatles albums, any of the early Stones albums. Yep. I put it side by side by anything the Beatles recorded in that year, anything the Stones recorded in that year. It is equal in quality to anything they did. It is a one-off album of beat bop. Please Go is such a fun song. It is as good as anything the Beatles or Stones released that year.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really fun stuff. The first 3 albums are kind of like that.
They are. And then they went to the Psych. They got into the Psych with On the Double is just great Psych.
Well, On the Double, in my opinion, was kind of their first album of the band that they became. It was
and
really,
they took a huge risk by releasing a double album of new material. Back in those days,
but it's a really good
LP,
69, right? Was it 69?
Yeah, releasing a double album back in those days is a big risk. That, like your 4th album and you go for a double length studio album, that's a big risk.
Yeah.
So Anthony, what would you say is Golden Earrings Sgt. Pepper album?
What is like the best album?
Moontan.
What is the best album?
Moontan would be Golden Earrings Sgt. Pepper, I guess.
So that's the album you would recommend someone buy if they're first getting into Golden Earring? Or like, what is
for sure. I think
it's a tough call because it was my first album. I fell in love with the band.
I got to say, Paul and I are biased because Moontan was my first album too, and we always love our first album.
Yeah.
So.
Tiny Tim. I don't even have any Tiny Tim. Should I get Tiny Tim from
I'd say it's certainly it's if it's not their Pepper, it's their Abbey Road. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
See, Golden Earring has never stayed the same. That's why they survived for 50 years. They didn't have a sound and a style and just keep redoing it album after album after album. They started off beat bop. They became psych. They became progressive. They moved to hard rock. They became 80s synth pop. They moved into 90s modern rock. They have always released an album that has the sound of the time. There's no 2 albums really of Golden Earring that sound the same.
Their last full album is one of the loudest albums that they ever recorded.
Tits and Ass in 2012.
It
was the first album since
Millbrook USA
to break the top 10.
Yeah.
So it was a big seller. Tits and Ass was a huge seller. First album since
and it was a loud album.
Great album.
It was loud. Oh my goodness.
Satellite.
Yeah.
The Keys to My Cadillac. Great songs.
I love Keys to My Cadillac.
Tits and Ass.
Interesting.
That's a great album name.
Well, it was named.
Well, guys, it's been fun. So I think I'm going to head out for the evening, go watch some TV, and go to bed early because I was up late last night on the phone with my friend. But it was fun. I finally got to be where I wanted to be today, so I'm happy and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Nice to see you, James.
Bye, guys. Love you.
I see you.
Bye, James.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you soon. There goes James, guys. James Linton.
I'm looking up this Moontan album. It looks interesting.
You'll only find the one that
Lisa, headphones. That's the only thing I have to say is headphones.
Headphones? Okay.
Well, you need the US one. I mean, you can get the other one too, but it's missing one of the great songs, Big Tree Blues.
Well, yeah, I'll look at it next time I'm at a record store. I'll get a CD.
You can find the MOV one, the one with the girl.
You put
easier to find
on, and it'll take you to a whole other place.
But
okay.
Yeah, you need to try to find the old pressing, an old pressing with the ear on the cover. With the ear on.
Yeah,
the cover.
when I saw it at the record store like 2 years ago, I didn't think to pick it up.
You'll find it. I know that it's a Super Saver CD.
And if you ever get the vinyl, get the one on Track Records, the brown label. It's better than the MCA pressing.
I'll have to look into it. I'll see if they have it. Because I know my store gets a lot of use.
You won't find the one with the ear on the cover in a reissue. It's never been reissued since the 70s.
No.
You'll only find the original. You'll find the original one with the girl on the cover, but there's 2 different songs on that album. And like we said, I mean, it's a great album too. But I think the American, the way they rearranged the songs and the 2 songs
More cohesive. I think it's just
the
better.
2 songs they dumped. Now they shouldn't have dumped Just Like Vince Taylor. I don't know why they did, but
Well, it was too commercial. Like it was very popular.
whatever.
Yeah.
But the 2 songs they dumped and the sacrifice for Big Tree Blue Sea were the appropriate songs to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And Big Tree Blue Sea is definitely the better song.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you can find that one on Super Saver CD. Very common.
I think that's the one I have actually.
Yep, I will look into it.
It's one of the first CDs I bought, right? Because I love that.
Yeah, me too.
And I'll listen to Vanilla Queen since you guys seem to like that song. I will give it a listen. Vanilla Queen. I am not buying Tiny Tim. I don't know if I need.
See, you should be able to find this version on CD really easily.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm
do.
sure.
Yeah. This is just so common.
We got to form a lodge.
This is so common. Classic MCA discs.
Oh yeah, CDs are easy to find. My record store.
You should be able to find this anywhere. This is very common.
Anthony, did you ever see this?
No, I never got that one because I got that big box set. So
Yeah. Well, I had this before that. This is the first 3 albums
okay.
in one CD. Well, 2 CDs, but yeah. But it also had a bunch of bonus tracks on it too.
I don't know about this Lonely Everyday 45. I'm just getting into this whole golden earring thing.
This whole golden earring thing?
No, yeah, the band. I'm a little late to the game. You guys have been listening to Golden Earring for years, and me, I only know Radar Love.
Now we're down to 1 album only. We're down to 1 album only that's never been pressed on vinyl. Every Golden Earring album has now been pressed on vinyl except this.
Oh, that's number 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Number 3 is the only one. It's the next. They need to do this one. Then they'll have pressed everything on vinyl.
Yeah, in one form or another. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So this is the only official Golden Earring release not on vinyl. And
The last one in the original run.
but I got in all credit, even though it's never been on vinyl. When they did release it, they released it on, of course, SACD. This is an SACD, so
Okay.
it's the high definition
Yeah.
CD.
I've got it in the box set. I think that's the only place I have it.
Yeah, see, this is the original
Or
first
do I?
SACD version of Naked 3. Yeah, in that live box set, it's packaged with. I don't know if they did an SACD disc though. I suspect they didn't.
Oh, I do have it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and it's an SACD.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which, as people know, are the supreme of CDs is an SACD. But still, we need it on vinyl. It's the only one missing.
Oh.
Fantastic stuff, I gotta say. They gotta be. They've always been in my top 5 favorite bands, and I on a bad day, I would only put the Who and the Beatles above them in my favorite category.
And then, of course, if you're a completist like me, you need to have Naked on video, the original Naked on video,
Yeah,
The Last Blast of the Century on video,
right.
and Naked 3 on video.
Yeah. So are those unofficial, as they say?
Unofficial PAL, because they were only released over in Europe.
Right.
So I had to get whatever rips. But there's nothing wrong with them. They're fine. They sound fine. They look fine. They're just rips of the PAL DVDs.
Right.
But yeah, you got to have them.
Yeah, I'll have to dig those
I mean,
up.
this last blast of the century, to see this one in live, such a fantastic performance.
Yeah. Well, they're well worth some time, that's for sure. They're just a great band.
Wow. I'm
Okay.
just looking at this post on Facebook. This guy has a $1,400, no, not $1,400, $14,000 turntable. I was like, wow, rich guy. I wouldn't be buying a $14,000 turntable.
You don't survive as a band for 50 years and put out 26 studio albums and 9 live albums if you're not selling records.
That's a lot of albums. I didn't realize they had that many.
So I go
You know what I
back
mean?
to
That's
60.
That's
I
what
go
just
back
blows my
60
mind
years.
when people dismiss them. It's like, how do you dismiss a band with 26 studio albums and 9 live albums? How do you dismiss a band like that? Bands don't survive that long and make that much music if people aren't.
I say they've been together 60 years because they actually formed in 61.
Yeah, they've been together
Right.
60. As Golden Earring, they were
Yep, 60
as Golden
years.
Earring, they were together 50 years.
Yeah,
But
they started.
beyond the 50 years. They were the Golden Earrings, Golden Earrings, the Tornadoes. for
Well, the
another
first
10 years
album
on
was
top of that.
65, I think, right? So
Yeah. So they were together another 10 years before they were Golden Earring.
yeah.
So it's 60 years, 1961 to 2021.
It's longer than the Stones.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
the same age as my mom, so they've lasted
1961 to 2021.
60 years.
60 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely look into them the next time. I'll listen to a few songs before I decide if I'm going to buy a CD.
So have you heard any of that Frank Cirillo stuff? Because he's been hanging around George Koymans for a number of years now. Have you heard any of his stuff?
No, I haven't. But there is a George Koymans album that I've got sitting in my Discog cart that I'm thinking of pulling the trigger on.
Well, there's one he did with Frank Cirillo.
There, let me pull up my Discogs cart here. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration with 3 guitarists.
Oh, okay.
George and 2 other guys. And I've got it in my Discogs card. It's a little bit pricey, and it's going to have to ship from frickin', Deutschland. So it'll probably take me half a year to even receive it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's just been sitting in my cart. Maybe I'm going to pull the trigger on it one day soon. Where's my Discogs gone? Where's my Discogs gone?
Have you got the phone app for that?
Yeah, but I'm using my phone to stream on, so
Oh,
just
okay.
gonna bring it up on my iPad.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
It's this album here. Notch Work. It's all in Deutsch. Even the album name is in Dutch and everything. It's on Music on Vinyl too. Notch Work. Vickenlieden Kosten Gagen. I can't even pronounce it. But it is George Koyman. Let me bring up the credits here. Drums and percussion, Dave Meinkenhorst.
No, Greg, man, it wasn't 1,400. It was
Piano.
14,000 for that turntable. I'll show you it, Greg.
Piano, Tin Schmidt, blah, 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 blah. Vocals and bass guitar, Henny Vritten, vocals, guitar, Winden Groot, vocals, guitar, George Koymans. I can't even pronounce it, I can't even pronounce it.
It's all these Dutch names.
This is what a $14,000 turntable looks like.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Okay. Got
That's
it.
the record label.
14,000 can't even buy you a house out here in LA. So that's like
14,000. I won't even buy you a car.
that won't even buy you a car. A car starts at 25,000 here in LA.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, somebody has a $14,000 turntable. People are like, that's expensive.
So it's three guys, all the songs. I found it on iTunes. I almost bought it on iTunes. All the songs are sung in Dutch, but there's some great guitar work on it. It's a completely Dutch record with George and two other, I guess, famous Dutch musicians.
Right.
So I'm tempted to pull the trigger on it.
That's very true, Star Power. You don't need to have a $14,000 turntable to play your records. But some people, they're rich, and that's what they want to spend their money on. But me, no, I'm quite content with my under $500 turntable.
Well, I got all vintage stuff. I got 3 turntables, and they're all vintage.
Yeah.
I love them.
I don't find a lot of vintage things here, so.
I got a couple of duals, and I got a really nice JVC.
Well, let's see. We're at 3 hours. We're at perfect time. We're at 3 hours and 33 minutes.
Yeah, I was thinking I need to
I gotta
sign
get
off.
going.
We're at 33.
I gotta get
3
going,
hours and
guys.
33 minutes. So
3 hours and 33 minutes. That's a good number.
that's a good number to pull a stream.
I'll see
Thank
you guys.
you. Thank you, everybody that came today. Thank you, Groovy Lisa. Thank you, Paul. Thank
You're
you, James, Jack's Trax, Projekt Gemineye. Who did I miss? Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Whoever I missed, I'm sorry. But thank
They
you
know
for
who they
coming.
are.
They know who they are. Thank you, everybody that came today. That was a lot of fun. I'll be back in 2 weeks. This is my usual time slot.
Okay.
Every other Saturday at 4 or 4:30 is when I do this. Thank you, Paul. It was fun talking.
Yeah.
And I will talk to you in the chats, in the text messaging. And thank you, everybody, to come. I hope you all enjoyed the nerdy music talk. And we'll see you all real soon.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe. Everybody be good. Be well.
Thanks, Anthony.
You're welcome. Thanks, Paul. Take care.